Hello and welcome to another episode of HaloEra of the HaloEra podcast, Spoilercast edition. This time talking about the 6th episode of Halo the Series Season 2, Onyx. Onyx. Yep. Joining us today is my usual co-host, Nick. How's it going?
Howdy. Pretty well.
You feel like you kind of you feeling hungry at all, or?
Not anymore. I just got finished scarfing down my food.
And of course, continuing joining us for this series is Jesse, which everyone recognizes from the main podcast. How's it going, Jesse?
Yeah, I'm here way too often. Big news just hit. I don't know if you knew, but days ago, that Penniman patch that everyone was desperate for on Xbox hit. No one seemed to even notice that it hit and turned on 120 FPS after complaining about it for a week. So
the bug is gone?
I'm doing great.
That's funny. It
works.
And of course, Amanda's joining us too. How's it going?
Good. It's me.
You may notice of someone...
my one and only appearance.
Oh no, this is 5th technically. In this series.
Well, I meant like.
Yes. Yeah. To be fair,
for sure.
Here, like on the site.
This year for now. I was gonna say. Jon is not here for this episode. Which means we might get some positivity. I mean, it's a little. But yeah, he's sorry. He couldn't make it for this episode. He'll be back, I'm sure, next week, and definitely back for the finale the week after. So before we jump right in, Nick wasn't here last week, and he gave me some written notes of his thoughts for last week's episode, which was HaloEra, in case you've forgotten. I totally forgot to go over those written thoughts while we were going through the episode, so I'm going to give Nick a chance. Nick, what were your thoughts overall on last week's episode, which, for the audience who may have forgotten, was about Chief and them landing on another planet and giving Vanek his funeral, and Soren and Lara looking for their son, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, so I'll just kind of quickly run through them because I have all the Spark Notes version here. As soon as Riz stepped off that ship, I was like, well, she's either gonna get shot or die. That was kind of one of those tropey moments, but it's like, it's like I get it. I was kind of hoping that the Arbiter would strike down Maki. I was like, oh, please do it.
Why does everybody hate her so much?
It's just I just hate the concept of her. I think she's a great actress and stuff, but
I think this episode helped me.
I think the
like
concept of her makes sense in the show.
Yeah.
I think they have a pretty good
I just
argument.
hate because they basically replaced her with or like the role she fills was the heretics and Oracle and stuff, kind of like that's seems
and
like
she has the name of a Sangheili from like Halo 5, which is always weird to me. Maki, I was like, oh, Maki, that is literally the person you fight alongside in Halo 5 on Sanghelios.
I mean, as far as someone that you need to have within the Covenant to make a connection, like what would like what else could they do? What would be another option?
What they
need to have
what they're doing,
someone who isn't CGI and costs less too.
What they're doing with her and stuff in the sense of the show makes sense as a fan of the Halo books and games and stuff. Just like I just don't really like the idea too much of her.
I feel like, I mean, we'll talk about it. I think this episode helps a lot with her story.
Yeah, this is a good episode to talk about her.
She carries the baggage of the first season, I think, a lot of it. Which kind of sucks, because the writing with her in the first season was not the best. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
that was a lot of the talking in rooms, mid-COVID stuff where they were just trying to finish without being able to do big scenes like they are this season.
But yeah, okay, Nick, go on.
So the gang is back together. They kind of got everyone together somewhat. We heard Spartan's name, or last name for the first time.
Yeah, that was immediately right. Caught me.
Yeah, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool because you usually never hear that. I can't remember a time in the books. Even when it was mentioned. Then I liked the funeral. I thought that was pretty good. It showed a bit more humanity, I think, to Chief and just that kind of stuff. I liked how they did it. Let's see what else. They are really doubling down on the whole like the 343 story or thing of like he's the chosen and stuff,
like the whole Gaius stuff.
Yeah, and it's like yeah, he was like chosen or whatever because he has specific genetic markers or whatever.
The gene song.
Yeah, which like I never really liked. I kind of like the fact that he was just lucky. I thought that was just kind of cooler, That's just like
he was the Halo's version of Domino from Marvel.
Yeah,
just real
which
lucky.
Is explained by her having the mutant power and the mutated gene that makes her lucky.
The planet spirit lady, I think, is kind of a weird approach.
I mean, I feel like we have some more theories on her, even from this episode, right? Which we'll get to.
Yeah. So she'll definitely come back up, but like when she started popping up, I was like, okay, this is getting, I don't know, a little bit too magical. I think
I am 99.9% sure it's Forerunner space magic.
Yeah,
it's definitely Forerunner. Tapping into Quan, and it's probably a monitor, and it's not actually the old lady.
Yeah, like the projecting the AIs. Is like, who knows? That's what I figured it is too. I just think it's just kind of weird. What? And then I was just one of the gripes of just like, I had the comment of why are they diverging even farther from the original story, which was already good. I forget which this was in relation to. It might have just been an overall.
Might have been just about a Reach in general, maybe. Because like the fact that they didn't go to Halo right away after Reach,
Yeah, and just like some of the other aspects. It just like, like even this episode, we'll get into it more too. It's just like, I was just like, this is.
It's very much its own thing.
Oh definitely. It like that last episode definitely pushed into like this is for surely its own thing.
Yeah.
And I have some thoughts on that later too. I thought the mother. Oh, I said. The mother was about to. I thought the mother was about to go all Negan on the shopkeeper. She got that with the wire,
the barbed wire.
I was like, oh man, are we gonna have a Walking Dead moment here?
Lara,
and then
no. What's the name of the bat?
Lucy is a bat.
It is the bat, right? Yeah, okay.
Lucille.
Yeah,
Lucille.
Lucille. Yep. And then last thing is Kai is the new June. So
yes, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
I think Kai is going to be the new Kurt.
Yeah. And emphasis on gonna. But
yeah.
Okay. All right. We're all caught up. Let's dive right into episode 6, which is the penultimate episode. I know that's not a real world word, whatever. The third last episode of the series, Onyx. So the episode
you said let's dive into. So real quick, I'm very sorry for the aside. I've done a review on something that's coming out next week, and every flipping time somebody says like a colloquialism like let's dive into. In that game, the locals in the game are just like, oh, yes, why would I dive into that? I would get hurt. It's just nonstop Zucker Brothers airplane comedy, and it's really badly done, and I can't get it out of my head now. It pissed me off the entire time I was playing it. I did the Nick. I started skipping every cutscene, all the dialogue. I was like, I can't stand this fucking humor. Stop it. Okay, please carry on.
That's rough, though. That's rough. I get it. That's rough. Okay, the show opens up with a shot of Perez with her helmet inside. And right away, how do you guys feel about the inside helmet shots this season? I feel, because I think this is the first time we've got them. And in the first season, it was more like Iron Man-y, where it's like black in the background and more like CGI'd. And this is more like a super close-up of just the eyeballs,
I like it. It shows a lot more... I try to think of the right word, but like closeness and like the personal kind of connection,
like intimacy, not intimacy, like
intimacy.
Yeah, okay.
It's like visceral.
Yeah,
visceral.
Yeah, it's you see it a bit more in like other kind of like action movies and stuff like that are going more for a drama route. It like kind of cuts in.
It made me stressed out.
Yeah.
For me, it's pretty much like. So I linked the video in private chat. I also put it on the Discord earlier and stuff. Adam Savage got to go see in London, like the actual, or in England where they were, the actual season 1 suits. like how they made them and how they had these like miniature LEDs and all these things, like how they could remote control the flashlights and all that stuff. And seeing that right after I'm seeing this, I'm like, they know with
Hey
how
everybody, Adam
fancy
Savage.
those goddamn plastic suits they made are. I wouldn't be shocked if that like literally just was a teeny tiny little GoPro or something on the inside of their actual helmets they made, because they've done so much freaking work on making those. They look so good. They're heavy as shit. If you're wondering, oh, why don't they just always wear these? It's like they're like 55 pounds of plastic, and they've got to have fans, and they've got cooling systems in them. It's like it's really hard, just like it would be in real life.
It's like they're it's like they're designing an actual suit.
So they're like those. They made actual suits, like the neoprene undersuits, which are super like comfortable and flexible and stuff. But also like, so we made them. All the hero actors are very tall, so when they're in them, they needed to be like 3 or 4 inches bigger than the stuntman's suit. So we had to make multiple versions. And the stuntman ones could move more. It's like, and we got the actual models from Halo Infinite before the game had even come out, when they were doing season 1.
Interesting.
It was reference, but in Halo Infinite, when they turn, it just goes through itself. It's not an actual suit that has to actually do it.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
The proportions even on a person 2 are kind of weird.
It was completely different. Yeah, he's like, they had to rebuild it entirely to actually fit a person. So that helmet shot was just like, they're so good at it. I think they just did it.
They did a really good job too of making it look like it has the game proportions, because if you go back to like forward onto Dawn, you can see like, oh, there's like a huge like stomach area and stuff that's stretched out and stuff. So because
and a lot of Halo or Master Chief cosplay, like the shoulders will look great, the arms will look great, but then like the midriff area will look like you're not a Spartan. Like immediately.
It's because like if you look at it, a lot of time, like Chief's legs are longer than normal people's. That's the only real huge difference of it and stuff. So but yeah, I think they did a great job making it look close to like what it would be with a game.
Damn.
And it was, and I hate when they do the thing where they have like LEDs in their face. It's like, why would that be? I know, like, do you have to do it for aesthetics? But I'm like, they didn't have their face all lit up and everything.
Tell me about it.
I'm like, who would have lights in their eyeballs?
I was a soldier and someone put a goddamn flashlight on my eyes. I'd like be like, you want me to get a migraine in the middle of a fight? Because that's how you get me a migraine, in the middle of a fight, guys. I'm just saying.
I'm like, I don't care if I can see their faces brightly lit, and so can all the enemies. But like, I can forego that for like realistic vibes.
People talk about how
you can see.
Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, on the helmet, it's actually a top piece, and then the jaw is magnetically clamps to connect to it.
I gotta watch this whole video. I didn't realize this was a show armor. I thought it was something else.
Yeah, and they've got a skull cap that goes on it, so all those LEDs and stuff aren't poking you in the head. I will link that in chat. People should go watch that.
Oh yeah, I've been having it playing for a little while.
It is really good.
Flipping. You know when people talk about how like unrealistic it is that like, oh, Chief takes his helmet off in battle. Yeah, you know how ungoddamn realistic it is that helmets have LEDs that like blind them while they're friggin' like walking around.
Every time I see that, it immediately takes me out. I'm like, and then that's all I can focus on. I'm like, who would have that? And Travis said it helps that she has pretty eyes, which she does. She has very pretty this section.
Yeah. But okay, yeah, that's a great video. 100%. Definitely, everyone should check that out for sure. God dang it. Stupid lights. So
and whenever I'm doing this, I'm trying to look at the YouTube video, so I'm not like ignoring everybody.
But okay, so we have the show picks off with Perez and a group of Spartan IIIs, and right away we get our first glimpse of the SPI armor in action. As the clip that I was so sure was a group of Chief and other Spartans jumping off at the very end of the season was actually a group of SPIs, Spartan IIIs, jumping onto an enemy alien Corvette, which, to be honest, right away kind of felt like a training mission, right? I mean, they didn't see any...
I was like, whoa, what happened?
They didn't seem that upset when people were dying. They were just like, he's down. Like, it's
like cold motherfuckers.
And they're still... In the trailers, there still is a scene where Chief is overlooking a huge space battle.
Yes,
so
100%.
We'll get one.
100%. Yeah, that's going to be.
I
Probably
literally didn't know it was a simulation until they popped out. I was
Oh,
like,
no.
what is going on?
Yeah,
They're just
at
literally
first,
like throwing them at the Corvette, like, go die now. Like, what's happening?
yeah,
Well, there's
at
a reason
first
for
that's
that.
Yeah.
what I kind of thought too. I didn't think it was a simulation. I was just like, okay, they're going high. It's like, oh damn, everyone's getting
That's
taken
me.
out.
I'm
holy
whatever
crap.
you're showing me, like that's what I'm believing. Like I kind of turn off my brain when I'm watching things. It
Their
just, like,
calmness is what made me
my
think
eyeballs
so.
and that's
Like,
it.
not the situation. I'm like, yeah, they definitely throw these bodies, like for sure. The high ups would do that, but like their calmness and like they're talking, I'm like, there's no way these guys are all dying. Like,
I thought it might have been like a farther jump ahead of like,
That's
and
true.
that's like why
Yeah.
there was the more of that camaraderie.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't really.
They
call
have
it
been-
I
camaraderie,
thought it was
but-
a time jump.
There have definitely been time jumps in this season from Reach to HaloEra to Onyx because, like, they set it up in the first season. Like, it takes time to get through places, even through subspace. So it's been like weeks or months at this point. You know, we're not 100% sure, but it's been a while.
Yeah, but not at the time frame of attacking Corvettes.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Got Emperor in chat asks, why are the Spartan 3s? Why don't they have any Spartan shields? It's because in general, shield tech is really expensive. And the SPI armor that's given to these hundreds of these Spartan 3s, they just can't afford it.
Which they want to be millions, essentially, is what they're aiming for.
They lost a ton of supplies and armor on Reach, so there's
So
not,
they're
there's
totally
probably
tied
not
to
a ton to go
that.
around.
Shield tech.
And the way they talk about it is essentially like the Spartan 2s were great when they had their pellets, whatever, but then they're super expensive, hard to control.
Yeah.
We just want to get people who go rah rah. We can have them rally around the dead chief, and they've got their cheap armor that's just enough to get the job done. After that, if they get back, hey, you get to go again next time. Maybe you'll come back then too.
What did you guys think of this whole scene in general? The space thing,
Cliche.
the scene inside. Cliche, definitely, but like the visuals, especially like the space ones,
Yeah,
they looked good.
Space going into the ship, absolutely gorgeous. Once they're in the ship,
It was
it's pretty.
sick,
It's their amalgamation of what its ship would look like. I'm sure they'll go like more colorful and alien when it's an actual in a Covenant ship. Because I know some people have been complaining. It's like it was a simulation.
Yep.
It wasn't meant to be like beautiful. It was just like this is a military sim.
Yep.
But still,
which in
very
reality are just
rote. Yeah. Very rote
cardboard.
dialogue. Like it felt like I knew exactly where this is going to go. It's like, oh, we know Perez. We don't know any of these other people. Perez is the only one that's going to really do anything here. And that's kind of what it turned out to be.
Anyways, okay, so they make it to the end of the simulation, which their goal is to plant a spike in the Covenant ship, which shuts the ship down, essentially. It's revealed that Kai is the one leading these Spartan 3s, keeps calling them Spartans. And she tells him, you guys can do this. Kai and Perez have a bit of
Are you jealous of me?
Yeah, what's the opposite of a heart-to-heart?
Cat fight.
A bit of an argument, where it kind of feels like both are angry at each other. Perez is obviously angry at Kai for not being at Reach, and Kai is obviously angry at Perez for being on Reach, right? When she knows that she should have been there. Either way, I kind of like that intro scene in general. But anyways, let's move on. Unless you guys have something else you want to talk about.
The data spike, it just always gets me. It's like, let's just like stab this giant spike into a computer and have it download stuff
Hack into the mainframe.
That's just the Robocop middle finger.
Yeah.
I did buy the explanation of like they're not gonna expect lunatics to jump onto our spaceship, so their targeting tech isn't good enough to individually target us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But okay, anyways, and then we get like the straight up just Paragonovsky's just full on evil mastermind vibes in this episode.
She's definitely the she's being set up as the antagonist because like even Chief was like, I gotta find Paragonovsky. It's like she's the bad guy, and I think Ackerson's going to be the probably sacrificed less bad guy who helps them in some way or something.
Yeah, I was gonna say the one that kind of flips, you know.
He's had actual humanity. Yeah. Like she's never had that. She's just do what you're going to do, or I'm gonna kill you. Bye.
Yeah, he's got like a questioning face. He's always like,
yeah, Yeah,
I can't do a questioning face, but he always looks like he's questioning everything. Like, I'm sure I did not look like
those hundreds of millions of people burned to death worth it. I don't know. I don't really feel any remorse about that, so I don't know.
Yeah, he's got like a questioning my humanity, staring off in the distance type of thing all the time.
And I think
he's a good actor.
This episode too, you kind of see a little bit more of that like questioning face.
And you can tell he's kind of split himself a little bit. But anyways, I did kind of like the shot of like, it was clearly Paranovsky and Ackerson were going over like Oni propaganda. And it was like fresh off the press. Like these guys did not waste time. Like I'm a little confused in the time frame. It kind of sounded to me like it was pretty soon after they left Illyria, like within a few days even. Since Reach fell, has it been a couple weeks? Has it been a few days? I kind of don't know.
They haven't said outright. I think it feels like it's been, I don't know, maybe a month at the most, probably.
Yeah.
That's reasonable. Because I mean, Prez is training, which means she enlisted and blah blah blah.
Yeah, and if you give like kind of some, if they have to go through a basic training to even get to that point, like I think typically, I mean, I would think maybe even over a month, honestly. For Prez
like
to get
like
that training
in
part.
our world, time frame basic training is like 6 weeks, so it has to at least be more than 6 weeks. But because I know they're already soldiers, but they had to be Spartan 3 trained, so it maybe even longer.
Chief did feel
based
a little
on our standard 6 weeks.
Yeah, Chief did feel a little injured still, though. Is the vibes I got from him? I think Soren even mentioned that you're still
and how long
up.
have they been going from, where they're going to get to Onyx, like from that, I don't even remember what it's called, the planet from
Illyria.
And then getting to Onyx, so maybe not that
weeks.
long.
I would say maybe
I wish we would have known.
Realistically, I'm thinking like 2 weeks at most, because Soren wouldn't wait, or Lyra
look at him
wouldn't
questioning.
Wait. Yeah.
He's definitely
it takes
looking
time
and questioning
to get around.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Anyways, okay. Either way,
who knows? I feel like we should know.
Ackerson and Paranovsky talk. Paranovsky talks about a ship that someone reported having someone that looks like Halsey and looks like a really large scarred man left Illyria, and that kind of ship landed near their base a few hours ago. And Ackerson says that's impossible. And then a man that looks like Jon is right next to their base, staring right at them.
I don't look like Jon.
Bye, person in chat. See you.
Anyways, okay.
Fuck off.
So, I mean, I can go through the whole episode, but in general, so multiple times throughout the episode, you have Kai and Ackerson kind of talking, right? And it feels like Ackerson's kind of trying to keep his grip on Kai, and Kai's kind of trying to hold on to like the superior is always correct. I don't question my orders. I'm a good soldier. And Ackerson keeps kind of like slipping, like, oh God, how many lives do I got to make up here? That's like situation's clearly going crazy. But the first time they talk, Kai's frustrated she's on her reach. Ackerson starts to manipulate her. Kai mentions that, hey, the Corvette simulation's not going well. All right.
Here's some gas. Let me light it for you.
Right. At the on Onyx, we get the crew splits up a little bit. Quan sees the red robe lady around, which, and at this point I'm like, this is clearly a monitor. Like come on. Let me see if I have a picture here. Yeah, like she's literally right next to
feel like
the well where the monitor.
I'm like getting impatient. I'm feeling like I'm like, oh my God, already? What's going on already?
Yeah, straight up. Right?
I'm like, this is a little too mysterious at this point.
It could be another genetic marker thingy or whatever of like some memory stuff of the, like, could she represent the librarian?
So I'm currently reading Primordium, and a big part of Primordium, the book, is that some of the characters like are guided by their gene song, right? Or like by signals that are currently sent by foreigner artifacts or signals. And those signals manifest in things like this, like directions or like senses. Like, oh, I'm told to go here in this direction. In that book, the signal is being manipulated by the primordial. But I mean, like, this looked very similar to that kind of, you know what I mean?
So it's more, the lady could just be a visual representation of the instinct rather
it's
than
not an actual
like she's
ghost
seeing,
lady.
yeah, she's seeing like, well, I imagine like she's seeing hallucinations or whatever, or yeah, hologram things or whatever.
Yeah,
But
and
I guess
obviously Quan is attuned to something. Like it's like we get it. It's like, but what's going on already? Like this whole magical well thing's been going on.
I
since
feel
the
like
beginning
if you
of season
take
one.
this shot
Like,
right here, this screenshot, and then take all the season 1 and look at the screenshot when she saw the past and her old family history and the monitor that's right next to the well, it'll be like 1-to-1 or really close to it. You know? Like
I think Madrigal would have been another place that would have had the Forerunner artifact. We'll see later in the episode.
I mean, Madrigal was canon-wise a shield world, wasn't it? Or no, I can't remember. I'll be honest. I know Onyx.
Don't remember.
It might have been like some kind of portal world or something because they were always protecting it. So I mean, what else would they be protecting unless it was a path somewhere?
Yeah. Spoiler alert. But Onyx is not a normal world. I'm just saying, guys. Which we'll probably find out in a couple episodes.
Because I mean, like portals and paths, and that's like a big part of Halo, like getting like portals to places and getting somewhere that we don't know where it is. We don't know how to get there, but we need to get there. We got to find out how to get there. Like that's
what. Yeah, what if they turn Onyx into a portal world like in like they did for Halo 5, whatever the or 4, whatever one I always forget. Now,
well, I mean,
like,
in
approaches and the world opens up.
In the Shadows of Reach book, like Reach literally had a portal to the Ark on it. Like that's why they went back to it to get that's how Drox got off the Ark and everything.
And
like,
hey, guess what other world had a long enough portal to the Ark in it? I'm just saying. You know what I mean? We played a whole part of the game on that world. We live in that world right now. But
welcome to Earth.
But I mean, like people say that the show like ignores a bunch of lore and it's completely different, and it is a lot of different. There's a lot of differences, but at the same time, it does keep a fair bit of it. And from what I know, it's been a while since I've read Ghosts of Onyx, but I'm fairly certain Onyx is a shield world. I'm pretty sure, right?
Yeah, Onyx. It was one of my more favorite books. Right? Until I read it like
so like a shield world having a portal or an entrance or locations of a Halo or at least some kind of references to it is not that out of the left world.
Probably references, probably not portals to it. I think because they were supposed, I believe, I mean the lore has changed so much over the years and stuff with the retconning and stuff, but I think originally they were supposed to be two separate things. Like they weren't really supposed to be connected. And
I mean, even canon wise, the shield worlds are Didax and Halos are master builders, right? Technically two competing engineering products. Sorry. There's a ghost behind you, Amanda. But
ghost of a child.
But anyways, that's like deepish lore.
I was gonna make a dumb portal ghost joke, but I couldn't make it fast enough.
I was gonna make a dumb Ghost of Onyx joke, but I just made it. Anyways, Quan is following this lady thing. These soldiers come because clearly these guys were not that stealthy landing on this planet. Halsey splits up. Soren and Lyra are told by Halsey. Hey,
that's one way of saying it. Halsey splits up. She just disappears.
Yeah,
she just takes off on her own. Doesn't say anything.
Walks off.
She just does what she wants. Soren and Lyra are told by Halsey that where Kessler is.
Kessler.
Anyways, I guess I have the shot here. Yeah. Chief wrecks these soldiers. Like, though even then you can tell he's like actively avoiding killing them. Though there's this moment where like he could have, and like I kind of like that shot.
He's just he's so used to it. He's used to just tearing into people.
Yeah. Sorry, 1 second.
But his instinct is to I'm pointing my gun at your head after knocking you down. I'm going to now blow your brains. I should not do that, even though you're Oni.
Yes, exactly. But essentially another unarmored fight from the Chief, which honestly I'm a fan of. I'm okay with unarmored fights. He's so much fun. It's so much fun seeing him just like whip people around like toys.
Yeah, because like just the regular Onis, the Spartan IIs are special. They're not remade at all in any other way. The Spartan IIIs aren't enhanced. It doesn't seem like they probably are going to pump them full of like stimulants and shit, just like the regular army, if they ever send them out on a suicide mission. But you know, they wanted very easily controllable, cheap soldiers to force through all this stuff, because there's only one group of Spartan IIs, and even then, so few of them made it. I do feel bad. Cobalt, all dead, confirmed, just completely wiped out. It really does feel like they might end up with the only Spartan II left being chief.
Yep.
The way Bungie always did it.
Yep.
Though I wouldn't be surprised if they pulled something where like, hey, by the way, no, we still have a few hiding here, blah, 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 later, you know?
There's this, the Fred, Linda, and these others, they're just hanging out over here, and we lost contact with them for a few years.
What kind of, well, since we're talking about the, you know, Bungie airs, stuff like that too. It feels like after watching this episode, I know we're not towards the end of it, or but even watching through it, I'm like, it seems like they are trying to put every single plot point from all the games into like one season. It's just, I kept on getting like, oh, this is like, you know, Halo 5, or this is like Halo 4, you know, or like this is the like the older ones and stuff. It's like they're trying to kind of mesh all of them into one season.
I guess that's for all the people who are saying this isn't like Halo.
Yeah.
And then now we're like, this is too like Halo.
It's a lot. I think it's more references than like full on plot, because they've got their overall plot, which is just their plot, but they're very happily pulling in references that you can go, I remember this during their plot, which I think is a better way to go about it than one.
Yeah, and that's probably, I guess, what I'm thinking, because I know there's some parts where it's just like well, mainly with, you know, Chief, you know, going rogue and stuff. It's like heavily from,
I mean, I'll be completely honest, I think this show handled Chief going rogue way better than any of the books or flipping games did.
The friggin', you know what handled it great? The Hunt to Truth podcast.
Yep.
That was so friggin' good that made for the game podcast that then they changed the entire story in 5, so it didn't really happen. We never got him in a sand poncho. We do get the didact in the sand poncho.
Nice.
Though,
totally worth it.
Nice. That book, by the way, incredible. Epitaph.
I'm getting there.
Speaking of 4, 5, and Infinite, just speaking of those, if you like the Forerunner trilogy, it so deftly weaves through all of them to wrap everything up in a way I never thought would happen. I'm very happy it did.
That's awesome. I'm like an hour away from finishing Primordium right now, audiobook. I took your advice. I was at 1.7. I moved it up to 2.15. Much more bearable. But anyways, Chief gets caught on purpose. He has this. Chief has like a lot of little smirks this episode. I'm not gonna lie. It makes me think he's smirking a lot under the mask too when I play the game.
He's smirking.
It's like the Bane thing. He's like, you think you were born on Onyx or something, and I was born. This is where I was born. I don't know. Whatever.
You were merely raised, or you were merely adopted the dark.
I was born on Onyx.
But anyways, okay, moving forward. Halsey,
you know what? I know this isn't Halo news, but it's actually really good video game news that just broke.
What happened?
Activision 600 QA workers are unionizing under the Communication Workers of America and have been voluntarily recognized by Microsoft immediately.
Impossible.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I was told that was impossible.
They're walking their walk on when they said, "Yeah, we'll work with unions. We don't care. That's fine. We haven't done it before, so it's new for us." But yeah, and there you go. Actually, good video game news.
Genuinely amazing news.
Yeah. Why did they do that when I worked there? Could have got, you know, a livable wage in Seattle.
Well, I still don't think you're allowed to because of the local laws there in Seattle and their whole contractor thing. This is Activision. Yeah.
Oh, that's true. Gosh, that's a whole other. I talked tangent about that whole Washington and their backwards ass laws.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But okay, great news. Back to Chief getting taken in.
I might have to type up a news story.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Go ahead. No worries. So Quan and Halsey come to get together for this arc, and then we get the Arbiter maiming himself. So this is, I think, one of the biggest flaws with the show so far. They haven't done a good enough job of explaining the Arbiter and like why he's the Arbiter and why he does what he does. You know what I mean? Like you play Halo 2 and you already know.
That's about it.
And you read the books and you definitely know. But if you all you just watch the show, you're like, why is this guy? What's he doing? Why are people, bad mouthing him? Why is he so religious? Why is he burning himself here? No one flipping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, why is he deciding to turn his back on everything? Like, who is he? Like, they make him seem like he's important, but why?
Yeah. Like, when they had him kind of, like, turn and stuff, it's like, I don't know, because knowing kind of the thoughts and stuff of the Covenant and, like, what they want to do and stuff, their whole thing of just like, oh, let's turn and, do this for the Covenant, kind of thing, and almost turn into heretics and stuff. I was just like, I don't know.
In a way, it feels.
I didn't understand it.
So in this case, it's actually a bit of the opposite. Is what I noticed. Is I think Maki convinced him by showing him the halo that his path is the most religious path. That the prophets are the actual heretics, and that what he's doing is the correct one for the great journey. So, like, all the religious figures he's with right now. That's why in the ending, when we'll get to it, he says, like, true believers follow me, was his exact line, right? So it's not like he's like dropped his religious faith at all.
Yeah, I guess I meant heretics as in, like,
not following the prophets.
More in the term of splitting from the Covenant in their direction.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Like, I meant like, who is this guy? Like, who is he? Because like, you know what I mean?
That's my issue with McKee's character.
It's not really clear who he is within the show and how important he is and all that.
Without McKee, they would have made that character. You would have gone into his backstory, his childhood essentially, and why he became the Arbiter in the first place, right? But obviously that requires like building up in Sanshun homeland and like probably a ton of CGI battles.
Yeah, it's like a lot more.
You know what I mean?
I wouldn't be shocked. because they're building up. Chief wants to go after Parangoski. Chief wants to go after the guy who killed Vanek.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be shocked if it ends up being they work together at some form, maybe after fighting but not killing each other, and we get his backstory then. Like they've done a lot of storytelling. I think at this point it's just like we know the basic things. He's shameful, and he's trying to reclaim his honor.
Yeah.
And then later down the line, we get to find out why, whether it's this season or next. So, and CGI super expensive. So they are going to hold off and do it at times where they can afford it for that episode's budget.
I do think he looks great, personally. I think they've done a really good job with the CGI.
The mandibles and the armor on it and all. I never know because I was always watching it the first time.
Like a crappy
really
stream.
Crappy quality. Yeah. So I'm like, this looks good, but I don't know how it holds up. But then seeing it 4K, like, oh yeah, okay, that looks really good.
Yeah,
to be honest, though, like when he's here without his armor on, I kind of laughed because he looked kind of.
He's a super muscular turtle man.
Yeah,
he looks like the Bowser from like the Bowser that looked like
Super
a man turtle.
Yeah,
he's kind of like jacked Voldemort.
Yeah,
yeah. Also, with this, I was just like, man, you can. For me, I could definitely tell the CGI. And I was really hoping that they would put a little bit more of the budget into this scene in particular, just to, I guess, I don't know, make it look a little bit more. And I know it's a TV show.
I think it looks pretty good, personally.
I mean,
I'm not sure how much better it would look.
But I guess it's the lighting that gets me.
Okay,
the lighting and stuff, the way that
but my first view just made me laugh.
Yeah.
It's got an uncanny value no matter what, because it is it's a humanoid shaped but alien otherwise thing, which is always tough. It's not like the Hulk where it's just big green Mark Ruffalo.
Something like this won't be scary until you see it hulking over a human like twice the height and like it slices it in half, you know?
Yeah, it's I don't know. I think it's just because
I've never done that.
The lighting, and maybe it's the way my TV is setting. It just looked a little bit too washed out for me.
Okay,
I know I'm nitpicking. It's just I'm a huge fan
we
of
are,
elites.
but I can't help the fact that I was laughing when they showed him.
My sister, when she first saw the scene, was like, "Oh, is he like burning himself with the Cortana? Why is he holding Cortana?" I'm like, "No, I think it's just like a flame device."
Is he burning himself with the Cortana?
And it's like, look, there's Cortana right there in the next scene. Hey, the new monitor.
I ordered this monitor 2 hours ago. Amazon is very fast.
2 hours ago? What the flip?
But it was in the local warehouse.
I'm just a huge fan of elite stuff. So like whenever I see more stuff of them, I'm like, I want it to be like super well. It just
you want to like step on me, daddy.
What did you think of the Prophet Elite, or not the Prophet, the Priest on the ship?
I liked it. See that like that shot looks better.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, that looked good. I was like, okay,
that
all
looks
right,
better.
Better.
I kind of like it because it shows a bit more of the culture. Because in the games, you don't see
this at all, right?
No. So I'm glad they did this because it shows more of like what their culture and their religion and stuff is.
Yeah, their structure and their hierarchy.
Yeah.
And this explained a little bit more, but still not who that
Arbiter is.
Wizard Bowser man actually is.
Yeah.
And if it's like most sci-fi religions, they're going to be all crazy and strange by just being heavily Muslim influenced.
Yes, man, doing
so crazy.
Cracking up so hard watching that movie at times.
Oh yeah, Muslim coded.
Oh, I wonder.
Great movie though.
Something that has been getting me though with the language of this is like, did they use a language that exists, or is it like something that they made up?
They created it last year, I think.
Yeah, they said that in one of the background episodes. They had the whole episode about the language and learning how to speak it and everything. They hired a famous linguist that creates languages and did that.
Mm-hmm. So they actually did create okay, that's cool. I'm glad they did that because I've once again as a fan of Elites, I've been wanting someone or them to do that for so long.
That was an interesting games, it was always behind like the scenes. Sparse. You should watch that one.
I think I definitely will.
Last
it was
season.
Weird that they called Chief Lisan al-Gaib. I was like, what the hell?
Look how humble he is.
He has to be Lisan al-Gaib. He refuses to state it.
Yes,
people really read. So I just got to say, people read Dune and really thought, and Amanda was talking to me about it earlier. Like people really thought Paul Atreides was the hero of Dune. It's like, no, that was not the point of the story.
No, Dune Messiah exists for a reason.
They just made it so clear in the movie, and everybody, and it's like, wow, so we're really cheering for this tribe on this planet, but it's transferred to our world and.
It's the Starship Troopers thing where people don't realize it's satire and they're like, yes, fuck those bugs for throwing a rock at us 68,000 years ago and just having it hit us right at that perfect time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, big tangents.
Take that, Argentina.
Okay. No. There's some friction on the Arbiter ship between the Arbiter's religious sect and Maquis. This showed once again that Maquis is not in the position she was in the first season, where she was like powering over the Covenant. She's clearly in a position of subservience. That is not a word.
Well, they made her feel like she was empowered over things, but then they were just like, we're just going to kill her the moment we don't need her anyways.
Yes, exactly. But in this season, it's clear right away.
And now they're like, we're going to kill you the moment we don't need you, is what they've just told her. She's like,
yeah, now we can see precarious her position was. Like she was just constantly scared for her life. No matter how important they made her feel, she was still like,
Yeah. But anyways,
I like that.
We still don't know how she's alive.
Yeah.
I bet you she's a clone.
Yeah, that's what I was
thinking. Which is why she couldn't do anything.
Oh, yeah.
So the Arbiter lies to his priests, tells them that no, it's cool, bro. We're working for the hierarchs. They told me to do all of this, not this little human thing. Don't worry, we're chill. And then Cortana's like, you're lying to this guy, huh? Oh yeah, I got you.
Cortana got to be a character.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We'll talk about Cortana. Because she's a big part of it.
Cortana's like siding. She's like, I see what's going on here. I can see how I can get how I can slip in here.
Back to Perez. They do the simulation again. This time, after Ackerson got notes from Kai, it's like, difficulty, bring it down from legendary. Let's go normal. All right, guys. Let's.
You can Zerg rush it. Just Zerg rush one. As long as one, you can just go pop. Put that little spike in there, and you don't get shot from behind by no one like Kai wants you. Like, you can win.
They complete the mission. They pop the spike, and enemies disappear. Wow, that's not suspicious at all, guys.
Now what?
Yeah.
And it's always we've got a main character here because Perez is essentially a main character now, and it's like they're the one that can think, and then the other main character and Kai, they go, but everyone else is a fucking idiot who's just like, yeah, we did it,
hoorah,
woohoo! And they're
I like after they put the spike in, they're all just kind of like standing around, like they're looking around, like,
whoa, this spike
now
kills all the Covenant too. We didn't know that.
I guess we leave. Do we just leave?
Anyways, Perez brings up her concerns that, hey, what the hell? To Kai. Kai's like, nah. You won. Don't worry about it. Anyways, Chief gets brought in like friggin' Hannibal Lecter, to I guess be tied down to a prison. He gets talked down by some Oni member, and once again he gets like this like
it's the dipshit who was at Visegrad
Sword
Relay,
base.
the commanding lady. Yeah,
he kind of has that grin
not
on his
roided
face.
out Gina Carano.
Yeah, Pablo had some nice grins on his face.
Pablo Escobar.
No, I did not say that.
He was in the show.
I did not say that. Pablo Schreiber.
He had some great scenes of just looking despondent while his hippos were taking over South America.
Anyways,
this scene with him being like
So
held
good.
down and stuff.
So good.
I was like, in my head, I'm like thinking like, do they really think that they're holding
I know,
up?
right?
Like,
They
I
look
was
so
like,
scared the whole time. They're like looking
Yeah,
at the chain and looking at him like, you're just gonna yank me at some point.
yeah. I was like, if he really wants to, he could like just throw them across the room easily.
He could just like bring all of them together.
I
one
do
time.
think
Like,
there was a theme.
all
for
he had
this-
to do was like fall on his back and just go. And they
I
would
think
all
there was
be
a
done.
theme in this episode showing kind of like the arrogance of Oni a little bit. You know,
Well, and a lot of them don't know. They don't know the Spartan IIs. They just know the chief and the suits and all that stuff. They don't really know that much else. Like I see a Noob Cybot asking, "Why is that lady happy about Cobalt dying?" And it's like, I don't think she's happy. She just was like, "Ha, fuck you, you stupid super soldier. You suck. They died without even taking a shot, and now we caught you." She's like, she's just being a dick because she's
Also,
an asshole.
I'll be honest. I mean, I think Oni, right? And I think of what? I think of friggin' CIA. And when I think of CIA, I think of high level CIA, and I think of like most evil people I can think of.
Carrie,
So like,
that friggin' woman from Homeland. Ugh.
yeah. No. I think of
The
like
drone queen.
like
Oh.
friggin' Hooper, not Hooper. Who was the director of CIA?
Hoover.
Hoover, right? And like his cronies, and then those are not nice.
He's got a big
people.
dam.
So yeah, so that's not out of character for me.
Don't come from Hoover. He's got the biggest dam.
Anyways,
When I think of the CIA, I think of South America and all the dictators that we put in power there.
Yeah.
Yay.
I think of a bunch of brown people being tortured for no reason. Ugh. God.
Yeah,
Anyways,
I think
ugh.
of crack and
Yeah.
that
Yeah, it can get real serious
Water.
real quick when it comes to this stuff.
Oni is
Huh?
space CIA.
Oh yeah. Hoover
My
was,
bad, my bad. FBI. Sorry.
They're not evil enough to be space CIA. They're close, but
Sorry.
they got work to do.
My bad. I was thinking of something else. Anyways,
And yeah,
Chief-
J. Edgar Hoover was the FBI. He
FBI.
wasn't
Yes,
CIA.
yes, not CIA, not CIA.
He loved dressing like a lady.
I couldn't get like nice screenshots of this fight because it was so quick. I did get this one of this guy getting yeeted onto the wall.
Yeah, when he's like, "Don't do it," and the guy's going for the gun at the end, he just freaking whips him, gets him in the neck, and then just those guys. And I like how they say, like, you beat the shit out of these people. They are going to be in recovery for a long time. One of them might die because he hits so goddamn hard. It's just there's no way you could avoid it. He's not Batman. He's not like, I'm going to beat you up, and then the next scene, the guy's just like, oh, I'm all knocked out, but I'm not going to die.
Yep.
It's like, no, these guys are fudged up.
One of the reasons I like, sorry.
I was the one guy you like hold for the gun and stuff after he told him not to do it. It's like if I just watched like 6 or 7 people, whatever, just get their ass whooped from one dude, and I'm here lying on the ground and stuff too. I'm not going for that gun.
You do
Like,
know
what the fuck
everything's
am I
on
gonna
camera,
do?
so if they say you give up, they might just
True.
yeah. Because they're like Space Russia, who pretty much like, oh, you go fight. Everyone's dying though. Because that was
Anyways, he
Not
takes
like this.
he takes these guys out, gives a death stare to the friggin' camera.
camera pissed itself. I don't know if you could see it coming down. It's a little coolant.
And then this is where we get like the next level like straw like that Ackerson's trying to grip here, where he's like tells Kai, listen, I know things look bad here, right? I know the Chief's alive, but hear me out. He was working with the Covenant the whole time.
When he said that, I was like, oh my gosh, like really? Like you're gonna go that route?
Oh man.
I get why he's doing it, but I'm just like,
Like it's, I mean, yeah, he has like little options, which to be fair, but if I'm Kai, I'm thinking like, but didn't you say Maki was dead? Didn't we all say Maki was? Now you tell me Maki wasn't dead. She was at the thing, and now he's not crazy. Like, which one flipping is it, dude?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, the puzzle piece does fit in nicely from the other point of view, but it's like
fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm not complaining about the plot. I'm just like,
yeah, like clearly Ackerson's working with what he can.
It's a good argument to get her to
yes, 100%.
be lied to.
Oh,
and believe it.
I made a mistake. There was good news, and now there's bad news. Deviation Games has apparently shut down.
What?
The ones who were working with Sony, they had a publishing deal, and they were going to do a thing, and then they get hit by layoffs.
Yeah.
And now, according to a LinkedIn post, they've seemingly shut down.
Oh, breaking news.
Wait, this is like Toys for Bob shut down, or like actual shutdown?
Actually shut down. It was the one from the Call of Duty and Treyarch guys that were doing a game with PlayStation, and then they shut down before ever making anything.
Because Sony reevaluated its portfolio, right? So which shut down some of its stuff. Ouch, man. It's rough.
There, I'm sorry to bring you down.
Okay, no worries.
But it's karma. Now good news can happen.
That is true. Anyways, okay, back to the episode. Kai is talking. Kai's clearly still trying to like hold on to like, you know, my leadership doesn't lie. My leadership, like, they'll tell me the truth no matter what. I'm a soldier. I listen to my leaders. Blah blah blah. And Kai's told, you know, Chief needs to be brought in. He's working with Maki for some reason. And then we go back to Maki, who's clearly wondering like, yo, Cortana, what the flip do I do here? And Cortana's like, hey, listen, I got an idea. Hear me out. Let me make a transmission. I'll help you locate Halo. Trust me. Come on, you don't got a choice. Yeah. All right, just let me do it.
Trust me, bro.
Yeah, she doesn't have a choice.
It's like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna do other stuff too, but you are dead. I am dead if you say no.
Yeah.
Chief is sneaking around the base, looking for Paranovsky. I feel like they could have done a better job of showing him sneaking.
Chief is walking out in the open around the base with people just saying, "Hey," no one knows him. So that is the thing. They only know the suit. So in that sense, like, yeah, obviously, if you're there, you're supposed to be there, like, essentially. And the reason they wouldn't have done a, you know, area-wide alert is, like, they don't want to panic anyone, and they don't want people to know Chief is alive.
Exactly.
Like, they don't want anyone to know it because he is supposed to be
dead. That's what I was like
there,
to Jesse.
You know?
I said, I'm like, why are they just letting him walk around? Like, why aren't they on alert? And Jesse's like, they don't want to be on alert.
They sent the one team that they felt okay.
They're trying
with,
to be a step ahead.
Yeah,
the Black Ops.
Led by that shitty lady.
Yeah.
That, you know, you go in, you take care of him, we'll come down, we'll ice him, like that type of thing. And it's just,
it's tough.
Nope, that didn't work out. Now they're kind of
to show Spartans being sneaky, even though like on screen, even though canon wise we know they can be sneaky. You know, like. It's just
very easy to write someone's being sneaky. It's also it's very hard to show it without them just looking like they're playing hide and seek.
Yeah.
Not when you're that big.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just like he's just hulking. He's like, all right, what's around that corner?
It's like, oh, someone's there.
What? You know what a ninja actually was? It wasn't somebody who dressed in black and snuck around in the shadows. That was the stage version that they're like, oh, you're sneaky. An actual assassin was just, oh, that just looks like a rice farmer. He just looks like someone who belongs here. And then all of a sudden he just friggin' kills you like that.
The assassin
was the actual ninjas were like the original guerrilla warriors.
The second episode, ending of the second episode of Shogun, right? If you guys have seen that, that was essentially a ninja.
I have not seen that yet.
You spoiled it.
Go now. Don't worry about it. You guys should watch that show. It is a good show.
Spoiler: there's ninjas.
No, Chief's like 7 foot something, I think.
Nah, I think he's 20 feet tall.
Way more joking. Clearly.
Yeah,
sorry.
20 feet tall.
Anyways, Chief sneaking around. All right, back to Quan for a sec, I guess. I guess no. Let me stick with Chief for a bit. Okay. He finds so Chief's looking for Paragonovsky, right? Because he's on like a path to revenge right now, and he's pissed at Paragonovsky and Ackerson. Kai catches up with them. Because I guess Kai just kind of knows how Chief thinks. They have a confrontation here. Chief refuses to fight. Kai's like, you know, Chief, stay down, stay down, stay down. Chief tells her the truth that, hey, Vanek's dead. Riz isn't here. They left us there to die. Kai's like, nah, you're lying, right? And Chief's like, nah, tell me the truth. No, sorry.
He also said, Riz let her hair down, and boy, is she pretty when she lets her hair down.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, you're lying. She would never let her hair down.
No, I like Chief's response when Kai's like, you're working with Maki, and Chief's like, listen, no matter, like, Chief's like, okay, if you're saying that, no matter what the hell I say, you're not gonna believe me.
Yeah.
But he had this one nice line. I don't remember it exactly, but he's like, Kai, like, where does a soldier end, and where do you begin? Right. Essentially, he's just trying to.
And that appeals to her because of her removing her pellet. Now she can actually think that way.
Yeah.
Now she can actually think I'm a person and also a soldier. I'm not just a soldier.
They're being watched by Ackerson and Paranovsky. Both of them know they're being watched. Kai does one final smack on Chief. Chief's down on the ground. Kai leaves the room.
It's a backhand because he was gonna punch him, pretty much just probably break his neck or something. But then she's like, and bit slaps him because she's Rick James.
Yeah, Nick.
I'll say with this scene and stuff too, I was like, I guess it goes back to the some callback stuff to the other games. I thought of the Chief and Locke fight a bit. Of course, it didn't go the same way, but I just
he didn't. They weren't doing like hand to hand rope-a-dopes and cracking shields.
Yeah, but what got me is like two Spartans going at it, and I know that there was like, I think like when that was out, or like even some of the promo stuff or whatever, Chief, it almost looked like Chief was getting his ass kicked, and that was like one of the things that they said that they would like really never do again. And that one of the things of Chief is like, he's not supposed to look like he's getting his ass kicked. And I was like, man, they're kind of fell back on it a little bit here. Obviously, he's not in his armor and stuff. Halo 5, and I think just like internally and stuff too.
I doubt they keep up with that. I feel like the showrunner would be like, oh, you made that internally in Halo 3. We don't
most of those people got fired.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah.
So one of the things that they decided for Chief, like there is actually like rules for Chief. And obviously, yes, this is the TV version, so it's gonna be different. But one of those rules is essentially he's not supposed to look like he's that the enemy has the upper hand and is like getting his ass kicked, kind of thing.
Oh man, these rules do not apply for the books, do they, man? Because he gets shot by one plasma shot, and the whole book he's like. Like I swear.
I'm pretty sure. Like it's been a few years since I saw it, but I thought one of those things was essentially that, because there's so much backlash at one point.
I'm curious, like Kiki Wolfkill being like the executive producer from 343 for this, and now like the head of transmedia for all of Microsoft or all of Xbox.
Yeah.
Like I imagine a lot of calls like that are just hers now. Like it will be a committee thing. Oh, let's figure it all out and let's do this. But like when the way shows work with showrunners and then the writer's room, like the showrunner will just come up with what is the arc going to be with the executive producers. And obviously everything's different.
And like
but generally you got the showrunner. So like all that stuff would be showrunner to executive producers like Kiki Wolfkill. And I have no idea how much Steven Spielberg's actually involved in it. But like, because it's Amblin Entertainment, it's his company.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, he was the one he wanted to do a Halo movie. Like he has liked the IP for many years.
That's right.
To the point where he kept with it for this TV
Ready
show.
Player One thing.
Yeah. Yes.
The video games. He wanted to branch into video games. Seems like.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, when I was watching the end credits, I'm like, did I see Steven Spielberg? And it's like, no, I didn't. But I had no idea about the production of this
book at
show.
Holy crap.
I was like,
anyways.
And anything Amblin Entertainment. Tim.
I with the Ready Player One stuff real quick, because I remember, because I was working in the studio when they when that movie was in production.
Oh, they did the Halo cameos?
Yeah, and they were like, yeah, heads up, we're sending stuff to them, like stuff will be in the movie. Obviously they said nothing from what we were currently working on, but they're like, yeah, we sent them like the files and CGI models, stuff like that.
That's
so
cool.
Like, oh,
send them master cheeks.
The book
you gotta see that butt.
I did not like that book at all.
That's just reference the book.
Yeah,
like it's entirely built on being referential.
Weirdest power fantasies ever, dude. Movie was a little better until the ending. It's like, I know how to fix the internet. You are not allowed to go on the internet for 4 hours a day. All right, because I'm an old man and I think that's how you fix everything. All right, done. Anyways, sorry. Back to the show. This fight in general, I thought was less about Chief, more about Kai. In general, this is like her arc coming to like kind of like a culmination of, because Chief has his moments of like disobeying superiors, right? Kai hasn't really. I kind of don't remember her season 1 arc completely, but for the most part, she's always listened to her superiors.
She always defended Chief.
She's always defended Chief.
Because like when Riz and Vanek were like going after him, and she defended him because they hadn't taken their pellets out yet, and I think she already had at that point. I don't remember. But so this is like her first time going against Chief, and of course it was a very bad idea for her, but she had to learn.
Yep.
Before she probably dies.
So after this fight, we get and
I can say I haven't seen episode 7 or 8. I have no idea if I'll get them early. So don't take anything I take as a wink, which I wouldn't do anyways, because get me out of trouble.
You're like happy he didn't get it.
Well, exactly. This is no longer
and
cryptic,
actually,
Jesse.
this part, this scene got me.
Yeah.
Like this was the first time I felt it.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I don't like the show. I'm not nitpicking, but I did agree with John earlier that I didn't really feel the feelings yet. I'm like, it's a great show. I like it, but I didn't feel emotionally connected. But this episode, I felt it. I felt it with this
100%.
scene. And then when
100%.
Chief and Cortana finally teamed up, I was like,
what's
happening?
Yep. I'm there with you too. That was like, yes.
Pablo talking before the season about how it is a season of Chief trying to come back to things, and it was him coming back to Cortana, him coming back to his suit, and him coming back to essentially getting Kai on his side again. It's I have quite enjoyed the arcs, and it is always the thing where I look at it and it's like you can have questions in the moment, but you shouldn't make declarations until the season's ended, and then you can say, oh yeah, no, that just never came together the way I liked, or that never really made sense. I feel like they have done a very good job of planting seeds, which will bear fruit at later times, because that's what all the best TV shows do, because they're not a movie, they're a show.
Exactly. And even movies technically usually wait to the end before the fruit's harvested. But yeah, we get an encrypted signal, and it's from Cortana, from that transmission that she clearly convinced Maki to let her do. It's from Heranovsky, and what the hell I say earlier on in this season, it turns out they didn't just leave Cortana there because they forgot about her, like so many brain dead people on the internet were claiming. Like, God, how dumb. I'm gonna be friggin' insulting here, right? Because I don't give a crap. How dumb do you?
How about a black hole of a pothole?
Like, how dumb
to think
do you?
The pothole was that big.
Straight up. Like, how dumb do you got to be to think that these guys are that bad writers, or are that like just terrible at their jobs or whatnot, to think, oh yeah, we'll just forget she's there, or maybe they just don't think Cortana's important, or they forget. Nah, dude, nah. Clearly there was a future plot thread there, and it turns out that
we're dealing with Parganosky, or we're dealing with her. Like, you think she doesn't know what she's doing?
So it turns out Cortana's mission was to go onto a Covenant ship and to lure the Covenant fleet to a certain location where then the UNSC would surprise attack the fleet. They say the Covenant fleet, but in my head it's just a Covenant fleet. But whatever, it's a show. Whatever. I'll let that go. And that's her mission, guys. That's why she's where she is. And she did exactly that. How?
She won the lottery, ending up where she did.
Yeah, straight up.
And Parangosky pretty much is like, yeah, you're going to get killed.
Yeah, pretty much. She doesn't
We don't plan to get you back. Just keep going as long as you can, because she also doesn't like or trust her. She just did it because she knew Cortana cared about Chief, who she was also trying to kill.
Yep.
And like, I'm just going to use this affinity you have for Jon to make you do what I want, and then hopefully they'll just kill you.
One thing I think people don't realize is that in the show universe, this is not just the first, but the only smart AI. Oni doesn't know how to handle them. Halsey doesn't know how to handle them. No one freaking knows how to.
They don't trust anything Halsey made.
At all.
Anything. They want nothing to do with her work because they don't trust it.
That's probably one of the biggest changes show to game / book lore wise, to be honest. And that's something I don't think a lot of people realize, because that is a huge change. Don't get me wrong. Like massive change that you don't fully get until you realize, oh, that's why maybe Oni's not like valuing her as much as they think, or like trusting her as much as they would. Yes,
and
exactly.
she's super powerful, and I highly doubt they think they could control her the moment they gave her any type of access. Because we saw what she did the moment she got it. She went against them and completely fudged them over to the nth degree instantly. It was beautiful.
She's like, "Oh, you want me to keep going till I can go no more? All right. Well, how about I get fucking Master Chief then?"
Cortana goes to Maquis.
Now you just want me to die?
Cortana manipulates Maquis into manipulating the Arbiter, into manipulating the Covenant fleet, into manipulating themselves, into going to chasing the Arbiter, into manipulating their fleet to where it needs to be. All right, boom, there you go. That's the master plan. And then it's kind of funny that like she even tells Paranovsky, by the way, I'm just saying, my calculations show that even with the element of surprise, lady, nah, lady, just shut up. I got this. All right, trust
Cortana
me.
would care about Cortana would care about the people that are doing the mission not dying, not knowing that Parangosky just doesn't give a shit. She's like, yeah, we've got a few thousand of these Spartan IIIs. As long as they kill all the ships that we need them to kill, I don't give a flying rat shit. If
that's what I meant by the arrogance too, right? Of like Oni in this episode. Like clearly, like there's like this ugh. But back to Amanda's point.
It's like, how much more smarmy can you get? Oh my god! Like they
are living up to their demon lineage of being an Oni.
While Cortana's doing this, because she's super smart, she can do two things at once. She's also talking to Jon, and fully agreed, Amanda. Oh man, just the moment they're speaking with each other. And she's also doing like it kind of felt like traditional Cortana or like Halo 3 marketing Cortana, where like she's in the screens a little bit, you know what I mean? And it's all like glitchy.
Yeah.
And it's just the moment they start speaking to each other, it's like, oh, this is worth the wait. You know, like it just like instantly works. Yeah, 100%.
It's like your dopamine's immediate. Like if you're a fan, you're immediately like, yes.
It's the part where you realize, this is a person who knows how TV works. They know how to flow a season, to just constantly blue ball you on the thing you really want the most until like it just makes perfect sense in the plot and it feels so good. Because like where last week where Quan, I think, was the impetus and the driver of the episode really and how it went. This week it was Cortana getting to be a character and being the Cortana we know that she has not gotten to be yet, because she, even in season 1, it was like always training wheels on and you're just here to take over Jon's brain. That's all we want from you. You take over his brain, make him a super soldier of all super soldiers, but now she feels like the Cortana that we always knew.
Yeah, this is the episode where I was
the blue balls were worth it. The blue balls were worth it.
Blue ovaries.
Yeah.
She didn't say "Wake up, Jon." Did she?
No, she didn't. She said "Chief." She said "Chief," and even the first Chief wasn't subtitled. So I'm like, wait, was that Cortana? I'm like, oh, hey, it is. It was pretty well done.
Yeah, it would be cool if they would have said like "Wake up, Chief" or "Wake up, Jon."
No, I don't think the show's earned that yet. To be fair, I think, but
anyway, it would have been like a perfect moment to kind of slip it in there.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, this would have been a good one.
And then have him say for the 8th time, "I need a weapon."
Yeah,
I think this was the episode where I became more okay and fully accepting of Cortana's redesign. Before this episode, I was still kind of iffy on it, but after this one, I'm like, that's okay. This is Cortana now. You know.
And I think they made her, because on the Covenant ship and stuff, to kind of go back to CGI stuff, it seems like they made her more CGI, which makes sense for her. Like they definitely, instead of having someone who they could have easily just, had walk around and just, adjust a few opacity filters and put a, slap a blue filter on. They actually just fully CGI'd her, which makes sense and stuff, I think, for her being a hologram.
I'm also kind of curious if we see differences in her hologram on the Covenant ship and on like a UNSC.
Ooh, that'd be interesting.
Right? I think I might check that out.
If they did actually do that, the little detail of the difference in technology.
Right, that'd be kind of cool. I'm curious about that. But anyways,
and I still think, I don't know that they'll ever say it, I still think she changed her look in the story because she didn't want to look like Halsey.
That'd be cool.
She don't like Halsey. I don't think she likes Halsey at all.
And yes, Paranovsky basically says
also probably doesn't want to appear like Halsey to Jon.
Yeah.
I guess in a roundabout way, I guess.
And Cortana basically, Paranovsky tells Cortana, and you just stay there and keep giving us information. We're not extracting you. Just do your stuff.
And then you'll die, and I won't forget you, but no one else will ever know you ever existed. Wink, wink.
And then before we go to the end of the episode, we see Halsey and Quan going into like Halo CE, Foreigner Door, which we already saw in the trailers, but it's still nice to see in the episode. Looks so nice. Huge, by the way.
It's
Holy
a big
crap.
set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Miranda's here.
I'm betting we'll see a lot more of this in the next episode because this set looks very, very big.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's probably a lot of
that's a
money.
good point. I honestly didn't expect to see Miranda.
They did a lot of set reusage. They did a lot of set reusage in 1. They've done a lot less in 2.
Yeah.
I think this is one they'll probably use a little bit, and especially with Miranda being there,
Were
it
you guys
gives more of a reason
expecting to see Miranda
to be
this
hanging
season?
around.
I honestly kind of didn't.
No.
Yes, because
I
I
mean-
looked at the IMDb.
Oh, I don't know she was casted this
That's
season.
true.
I'll be honest.
I guess I might have been expecting her just more. I guess it kind of is approaching the end of the season, but I was thinking like last or second to last episode, when they possibly get on a ship or whatever and head to Halo.
Yeah, because she was listed as just a member of the ensemble, not like a special guest or anything. So it's like, oh yeah, well, we will definitely see her in the later part of the season then.
I was thinking last episode, I'm like, are we going to see her? And then here she is. So I guess I was expecting it because I was like, where is she?
There's still 2 more
She
episodes.
was mentioned.
Yeah.
So
And of course she would be here.
Anyways, Quan and Halsey
fixing your mom's
go down.
mistakes.
And I guess something I didn't mention, but the underground, Halsey mentions that it's been moved around and changed. Again, another reference to Onyx not being your typical planet. But Quan is still able to navigate it with her red robe lady visions. They make it to to Miranda. Miranda mentions that, hey, we found a mistake in your research, which they didn't talk about the mistake yet. But then they talk about this interesting circular door portal looking thingy. And that's a portal, right? That clearly looks like a portal.
Yeah, I'm like thinking like, this is my seeing more of this. I'm like, okay, is this how they get to Halo?
No, that looks like a portal to like the center of the planet. More so than
Oh
planet,
I
right?
guess that would be because they would need a bigger portal and stuff for it.
Yeah.
But
Halo's like
so
a giant,
that's how they get to Hollow Earth.
They would need a bigger portal. I think we're going to need a bigger portal.
Well, that's the portal to get you to Hollow Earth, so you can see Kong and Godzilla and all that.
Exactly. F Kong.
there
We
you
need
go.
more Godzilla. But this is I feel like some of the games have portal designs that look similar, but I don't know which ones. Just kind of reminds me of them, but I'm not 100% sure by looking at it.
I just reviewed a game that has portals that look exactly like that, oddly enough.
It
We can see you next week.
it reminds me of the Halo Infinite. Like when I first saw the artifact stuff here, it kind of reminded me of the Halo Infinite like stone rings. And stuff that do
Especially
things.
that first one from the good gameplay demo where they had the main menu with just the stone ring. Look like that.
Oh, that's actually pretty big. I didn't realize. Did you look at the light in the bottom right? That scales. Yeah, that's actually pretty big.
Yeah, no, that's like 15, 20 feet tall, probably.
Yeah, holy crap.
What if it's
300 feet, maybe 400.
It's as tall as John.
Wow, it's 1,000 feet
Massive.
tall. Holy crap.
That's a street light.
No, that's a watchtower with a huge spotlight on it.
No, that's the
It's
Pixar
actually
light, guys.
14,000 feet tall.
This is like a 2 feet.
Oh.
2 feet. 2 feet.
Well, where's the Pixar mom with the dummy thick ass? Every movie.
Clearly, you don't need Nick to chase rabbits, huh? Oh, we do have Nick. Never mind. Okay. Anyways, there's.
Oh, by the way, Dragon's Dogma 2 character creation.
Yeah, I saw your images.
You literally have a butt cheek slider. You can make their butt cheeks just go straight out to be a shelf. And you can give them huge hips. It's like, my God. And their Twitter literally has a video saying you can have you can have it however you want. And it's just 10 seconds of them slowly moving the butt slider out. That's their own Twitter. Like they know. They know what they're doing. I cannot wait to review that one.
Anyways, so that's the end of Quan and Halsey for the episode, and then we get Soren and Lyra at what's clearly a Spartan training facility, looking for their son. Though then Soren name drops the name of the next episode, Thermopylae, when asked what this place is. And that's all we get from here. Something's happening. We'll find out.
They see a
next
little bit of blood on the ground, and then a light turns on, and then he's just like, whoop, 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 we're getting out.
Yeah.
And she's like, what the fuck, Soren? Why aren't we going to our child?
He's like, we got to scuttle. Just move.
Let's mention 10-year-olds wearing dark, black shirts, just scurrying around getting shot at by a bunch of 30-year-old men. But anyways, and you see
It's like a Catholic retreat.
I actually don't know what that area is. Cut. Stream dies.
Yeah. Goes right to the outro.
This is what happens when the adult's not in the room. But okay.
I was an altar boy growing up.
Oh no.
Not very long.
The end. There's
you can ask Travis.
He just wanted to go to.
We
He just wanted to go to the water park.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Canopy Lake. It was worth it.
Okay. Kai and Ackerson have their last confrontation of the episode, where Kai talks about, hey, this simulation, they pass it kind of easily, and then this is where Ackerson kind of reveals that he does lie to his soldiers, to his men, where Kai realizes, okay, if you lie there, what the hell is he lying about? Realizes he was lying about Reach.
Bad choice.
Yeah.
Wrong choice.
Yeah. Yes.
Are you a Ackerson, aka Kai and Ackerson? What do you think?
Wouldn't it be Ackerson? But anyways,
no. Sounds grosser. Ackerson.
Yeah, it does.
Cankersaur.
Probably Acker Kai. It's probably better actually.
When he lied and stuff, I was thinking to myself,
yeah,
why would you turn down the difficulty and make it easy for him? It's like, yeah, give him hope or whatever, but I get giving him hope, but you also are trying to train some super soldiers to do some things. Don't give
we're not playing Call of Duty with your 7-year-old.
Because also Kai literally had it on. There's no one around, and you get shot in the back, so it was cheating. Because when the first time she was there, she's putting it in, and then a shot comes out of nowhere from no one to kill her.
I mean, what if there was a jackal
they cheated to not let her win,
hiding in the back, and was like, "Listen, I got this. I'm gonna make my family proud." Exactly, right?
Just bank shotting around corners.
I mean, you have to respawn a few times
to
figure out where they all are.
Al-Gaib of jackals.
That was their first match in Fortnite. Where you always he gave them their first match in Fortnite.
Essentially, it reminded me a little bit of Top Gun Maverick a bit, where it's like
never thought.
Where it's like rather than making it easier, it's like no, let me show you I can do it. But instead of doing that, it's like let's just make it easier to show, try to boost their confidence a bit. But anyways, the crux of the conversation, at least I found, was I did lie to my soldiers, and yes, it turns out I lied about Reach. And at this point, Kai, I think, gets that full shift in her character arc, where she's like,
Chief was right.
Exactly. It's like my superiors, turns out they're not always correct no matter what. Turns out I shouldn't listen to them no matter flipping what. I got to do what I got to do. Then she gets out and leaves, and Ackerson's like, it's too late. I already sent the Black Ops after them. I'm just like, bro, really? Okay, all right.
You can't save him, Kai.
You're talking to a Spartan fully armored up here,
But also, if I also think we don't know how big it is. Maybe they're very far away, and if it hadn't been for the next things that happened, he probably would have just been, brrrratted.
I did really like the shot of Reach in the background and Kai and Ackerson talking to each other. Some of the framing in this episode was really well done. I want to say they had a good time. This episode used a lot of the old sets actually, and
I was about to say, let's get a little bit more use out of that cool Reach set.
Yeah. And they used the Covenant set multiple times.
My thought too for this set, I was like to myself, how do they get that? How do they know? But then I was like, I guess there's cameras.
Probably everywhere. The cameras everywhere. It's like their main HQ.
So I was like, I guess
there's cameras everywhere,
it is.
Except for where Jon's sneaking.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, even with the word cameras,
cameras.
He just stared at them directly.
No, I think they were watching him.
Yeah, actually, I mean, they sent Kai directly to where he was.
Maybe not, because he would have seen them. I don't know.
I mean, they sent Kai directly to where he was, so they probably did know where he was, right?
But also, with their future tech, they had Pelicans take off. They would have had footage of what it looked like and stuff. So
yeah. Also, they've probably simulated.
I'm just japing.
Falling several times. But anyways, okay. Cortana starts clearing the path.
It's their speed trap cameras. Their future London. So their speed trap cameras. Speed trap cameras everywhere, every 5 feet.
Chief starts walking. In fact, Chief was like, Cortana, it's over. I got no one left. And Cortana's like, listen, I'm with the Arbiter. And Chief's like, oh, the one that killed Vanek? All right, bro, say no more. I'm in. It is interesting that Chief is motivated mostly by revenge at this point. You know what I mean? Less so by end the war or save humanity. And it is realistic.
I don't know what you mean. I've never felt revenge. Ever.
Yeah, with him kind of go more the revenge shot, I was just like, once it kind of pulls a little bit away from the chief that we always knew, just like, save humanity. Like he's doing it because like he is trying to save humanity.
To be fair,
well, that's what Halsey's trying to talk him into all the time. I think that is a further plot thread.
Yeah.
That because right now he's seeing red. He wants to kill Parangoski. He wants to kill Ackerson. He wants to kill the Arbiter, but he's gonna get convinced, especially when there's a huge space battle over probably Onyx or wherever they are. Like, oh shit, if they get to the Halo first.
I mean, you saw in the first season too, right? He was really against Cortana, and then the Covenant not Cortana, Halsey. Covenant showed up, and he instantly went into like, okay, like I gotta save my fellow soldiers route. So I feel like that is still like him, but right now he's like, it makes sense. He doesn't give a
more of his emotions that he's trying to get in touch with.
He's like the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, where his whole world just got turned upside down.
Yes, exactly. He gets taken path forward with the Cortana. Another great smile by the chief.
I love that little wave. I love that little.
I
wave.
love snarky chief in this.
I'm just picturing him smiling now under that helmet every time I do something stupid in the game.
This episode is definitely the standout highlight episode.
It was really enjoyable.
Good.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a lot of payoffs. Like
this was a roller coaster episode.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
this one felt like they earned some of the emotional heft they were giving things earlier.
Yeah.
Because it has been that thing where it's like every episode keeps feeding into the next one, but also into 2, 3, 4 episodes down. Like they've kept that roller coaster of plot beats hitting pretty damn well.
Yeah, this was the end of the edging.
Yeah. But anyways,
this was skeeting.
Chief gets moved towards the artifact. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mention this earlier, but previously Maki had told Cortana that the artifact wasn't activating for her anymore, and they kind of theorized that both of them needed to activate the artifact together. Somehow, I think it's just a theory Cortana has. There's no real.
Well, Maki said it like everything changed after the when they activated it together.
Yeah,
at the end of last season.
Yeah,
and like ever since then, it just hasn't worked the same.
Yeah, that's true.
And is that because she's not the same person?
She got shot in the chest.
Yeah, getting shot in the chest.
I don't really like what happened.
We'll find out.
So and then back in Maki, the priest dude goes and says, "Hey, listen, like a transmission went out. Like clearly, like your little pet thing, it betrayed us." And the Arbiter's like, "Okay, like yeah, there's some non-believers here, true believers. Take my lead." And he starts attacking the priest person. The infighting starts breaking out. Maki rushes.
He gets the two guys next to the priest, and the priest's like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, priest dodges. That was kind of cool. He's got like this little dagger.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And what's interesting is during this fight, like there's infighting happening in multiple places. It's not just like the Arbiter fighting all the soldiers. It's like 3v3. It was kind of a cool shot. Maki rushes the big artifact. She goes to touch it. Chief goes to touch it, and the episode ends.
Yeah, and the credits. I was like, God, you son
of a bitch. Straight up.
They did an Attack on Titan episode end. Wow, every single time.
It should have just said "to be continued" in the bottom right.
Oh man.
I thought it was excellent. I gave it the highest score given anything this year. Because I think like Reach for me, it was pretty much like 6, then up to 8 for Reach from like the beginning, and this one I gave an 8.5. Yeah, it was my favorite one so far.
I think the ending half really brought up the first half. The first half I wasn't fully feeling. Stop messaging me, god damn it. But like the last like third to half was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed this episode. I think more so than the last one. I think a little bit more than Reach. It like we said earlier, it was a lot more payoffs and stuff, and it's like, and definitely as the series goes on, even like with this episode, I was just like, yeah, it is so far from any of this kind of storyline that we've seen before, and stuff. So it's like
they're so far from the storyline, but now they're back on track for whatever they're trying to do.
That's what I'm like. Yeah. You know what, Nick? I feel like after I finish this episode, in my head I'm thinking, I'm like, they could tell a really, really mean Halo CE. at this point. Is what I'm feeling.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They're kind of setting up Chief being the last remaining Spartan. I don't think Kai's making it out of here. Riz is already gone. Vanix is already gone. They're setting up Halo to be its own thing. They already have a few scientist characters. You know what I mean? Like they could really tell a cool Halo CE.
They still have A keys, you know.
Exactly. You know, and they have an Arbiter's character to tell the Covenant side of the Halo aspect. They have Flood 4 coming. Oh, speaking of, Cortana had some warning where it's like, hurry, the Covenant will go to the ring and activate it. Do we know how she knows that the ring can be activated? Did they talk about that in the first season? I kind of don't remember.
I don't think so.
Don't remember. Or did you say use it or activate it?
I don't remember her exact words.
Because they all know it's like some super weapon. That's essentially what this show has kept saying about the Halo. That it's a weapon. And like, I
think season 1 made it clear that it was something to be used. So that's why it's not like that.
Like, to be 100% honest, like, I've played all the Halo games and watched this, and I'm like, I still don't even know off the top of my head what the freaking Halo is.
No, the games, honestly.
So the Halos work in succession. They not only destroy. They not only destroy pretty much all organic matter. They destroy all matter that can have, anything that has a brain, essentially.
Yeah, anything that's sentient is kind of what it
within a certain range.
Yeah.
And it's the known galaxy where all life is, essentially, was to clear it all away so nothing could feed the flood to try and starve it out of existence.
Get activated.
Yeah.
Technically.
And I think I saw someone mention too, since we're talking about the flood, that like the it's possible that the lady with the red planet lady could be like the flood, or grave mind like influence stuff. I think that could be an interesting approach, especially to try to kind of sprinkle.
You remember the primordial?
Yes, that's where I was kind of like, when someone said that, I was like,
ever wonder what happened to the primordial in the books and in everything?
I didn't.
I always wondered what happened to them.
Yeah,
I found out in this book.
Interesting.
That's one thing they brought back that I was like, fuck.
Finally, they do bring that back?
Thank you.
Good. God damn it.
No, you find out exactly who he is, where he is, what happened to him, all of that shit.
Yeah, because they kind of left it ambiguous, just like where the original Gravemind or the last primordial went.
You find out.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's so good. Everyone read Halo Epitaph. Everyone, even if you don't know the story and you're just confused the entire time. Anyways, do it.
Really quick, speaking of Halo and the show, we finally got our first kind of data on how the show's been doing in the US specifically, and only on TV screens, I think, through Nelson streaming. And in the week of February 5th to 11th, which I think was the first 2 episodes for the first 4 days, Halo debuted at number 3 for that first week with 354 million watch hours, which
is that all?
Is not bad. It's
failure.
It's actually pretty damn good. I have it up on screen. I mean, let's see.
It's the only thing from Paramount Plus in the top 10.
Yes,
it is consistently their biggest thing. Like for them to be able to match Prime Video and Netflix, typically just comes down to either the Taylor Sheridan verse of all those awful shows, or Halo. Like, people keep saying, "Oh, Halo's terrible and it's awful. There's not going to be another season." Like, you're insane. It's their biggest shit. It's why the budget on this season's so much bigger after being very big in season 1, because it was huge and it pulled in a younger audience. Now, younger for Paramount Plus is like 30 and 40-year-olds. It's not the Zoomers. I was
going to say, the reason you don't hear people talk about it is because your grandpa's watching it.
I was always
55 plus.
I was always a fan of Paramount Plus because
old
I
people
watched all the
love
time.
their sci-fi.
And like when I heard that it was, because originally the Halo series wasn't going to be on Paramount Plus. It was going to be
Sci-Fi,
on some other
I believe was the
service.
original one.
Showtime.
Showtime.
Yeah, Showtime. That's what it was.
It's still a Showtime production, essentially.
Yeah. And then they switched it to Paramount Plus, and I was like, yes, I have this subscription to that. I don't need to pay for Showtime, because I love
who wants to pay for
Showtime race and stuff.
Yeah, and it is a difference with the way Prime can work and with the way Netflix does work, where you get the whole thing at once. So they just get a huge hit when it drops, but less legs.
Yes.
So that's it was essentially the number one thing for things that release weekly.
So like the show is safe as long as Paramount Plus is safe. is how I'm kind of looking at it. So as long as Paramount Plus is still
They're in
kicking,
better shape than HBO Max. They're not doing the best, but they're better than HBO.
And luckily,
there's
Paramount
nothing
Plus
from
has
HBO on this list.
they might not have released anything within this week. It's probably how it goes. Because HBO, I mean, when House of the Dragon releases in June, it'll probably be top this list realistically. It's a very big show.
and Paramount Plus has a lot of they have a lot of reality shows and stuff like that too. So they actually have a pretty good sci-fi.
Fallout will be releasing
base as
all the
well.
episodes at once, April 11th, 8 episodes, which is kind of
Oh, they did say that?
interesting.
Okay, yeah, I never know with Amazon.
Amazon's
They're
weird with that,
normally
dude.
week to week.
Reacher season
Day
1
before my
apparently did it.
birthday.
Wheel of Time never did. Was always one episode at a time after 2 for the first time. It's weird. Amazon's weird.
Got me a monitor in 2 hours though.
Yeah. But so that was this episode of Halo the series.
This is the best episode of Halo the series.
Yeah. I guess really quick, let me read out John's thoughts. He really articulated them. And he spent quite a while writing them out to me. Because he knew he wouldn't make it, so he took like a good 10 seconds. Jon Sikamikanico.
You got to do it British.
Was all right. Fingers crossed for a. No, I can't. I'm British. My Britain is so.
Go ahead.
Don't.
Do a Canadian.
Was all right. Fingers crossed for a good finale. Lots of love, Sikamikanico.
Oh.
I can't do it.
What's all right's about as high as he can go.
Again, I feel
Also, it's not going to be a finale. It's going to be a penalty.
exactly. There's still 2 more episodes left. And it kind of feels like they've been doing a good job of wrapping up. Sorry, not necessarily wrapping up thread points, but getting them closer to the end. You know.
So
we've gotten a lot this season. It feels like two more episodes. Feels like we're gonna get some good stuff.
Yeah. Predictions for the next 2 episodes. I think that I would I'm trying to think of where the space battle will take place.
Last episode.
And I think it's gonna be definitely last. Yeah, I was hoping that it would be the next episode, towards the end or something. So then the last episode they can do hopefully a little bit more with the ring.
These predictions. Chief gets his armor next episode or not?
Yes.
Honestly, when she was leading him there, I instead of the artifact, I thought it was his
armor. For a second, I thought so too. Yeah.
And I was like, yes, I can see him in his suit. And then I saw the artifact. I'm like, I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. And to be honest, him getting a suit in the episode ending would have sucked. I wanted him to get a suit and him to be fight people the one he does.
Yeah. So next episode will probably be them, getting out of there and stuff, and to joining forces or doing whatever they need to, and then somehow in the last episode be the big space battle, and then boop, there they are around the ring.
They're going to convince Chief and Kai to lead the Spartans to do that mission that they're training for.
Oh,
however that's going to end up.
So that mission, what I think it essentially is how they said they're luring the Covenant fleet, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they have hundreds or thousands of Spartan IIIs. I think that mission is essentially just, hey, the Covenant fleet's coming. Send thousands of Spartan IIIs and just shotgun them all towards all these ships, and every single one of the Spartan IIIs is dead. But they'll take all those ships out with them, or at least half of them, or a third of them, or whatever number of them is what I think.
Just enough to turn the tides.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because they didn't mention it was a critical mission or they're extracting anything. All it was just we're taking down the ship with this spike.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to. It seems like they're trying to destroy the communications to draw whatever some part of the fleet to them.
Yeah.
Right. They're trying to turn off this one Corvette, and then they're going to be like, "What's going on?" And then trying, I guess that's what it seems like to me. I don't know about war.
From what I could gather,
war shit.
There'll be a ton of Corvettes, hundreds, and they're gonna just throw a ton of Spartan IIIs at hundreds of Corvettes, literally.
Yeah, so they've got a lot of teams practicing this same mission to do the same thing, so they can try and disable all these ships at the same time, so they can take them out more easily.
Is what I think.
So you think they're gonna do a ton of teams to go to a bunch of ships to stab the computer?
If you want to talk about what's in the preview for the next episode, there's a line that essentially just is, how many Spartan IIIs are you willing to sacrifice? And Parangoski just says, all of them.
Okay, fair enough.
So,
of course she does.
And it's Ackerson who's like, how many are you willing to sacrifice? And she's just like, All of them.
And he's like, I think I'm on the wrong side. And he's looking away with his eyes questioning.
But that being said, though, Chief 100% is going to go on a mission to grab Cortana, right? Like that's for sure. Like that's like quintessential, Chief, like
quintessential.
There we go.
You think when him and McKee meet on the Halo, they're gonna try to find a way to meet in person or something?
I think they're gonna just kiss.
They're gonna try and find a way to meet in person.
I don't think
I was really hoping that I'm not a hopeless romantic, but when they went to go touch the artifact, I was hoping that they would just go to the Halo and just hug and then be mad at each other. I was like, go hug.
If there was something I could tell you about what else is shown in the preview for the next episode, we straight up just see them on Halo talking to each other in that trailer.
That happens in the very beginning of the next episode.
But I just wanted to see them see each other and hug.
Yeah. I mean, the very beginning of the next episode will be them in the Halo's division because they're both touching the artifacts, right? So they'll be talking. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kind of like how they did it.
Yeah, it like shows them yelling, like, or being angry with each other.
There is no way Maki is making out this season. I don't think so. I'm putting my foot down there.
She survived getting shot in the chest last season.
In my opinion, she didn't make it out last season.
She'll get decapitated this time.
Yeah, what if their MO is to just keep on killing her?
Two things. Change Cortana's image every season and keep bringing Maki back in some way.
Yeah. Keep killing Maki at the end and bring her back next.
Nah. Maki's 343. So in terms of predictions, next episode is called Thermopylae, right? And Soren name dropped Thermopylae as the training facility where his kid is. I think we might, and this is clutching some straws, we might see some flashbacks again to the Spartan training program. That'd be kind of cool. I'm not sure if they do that because I'm not sure if there's a reason to, but it'd be cool if they did.
Yeah, and if there's like enough time. I mean, they're trying to, I think, wrap up and.
But I mean, how much more do they got to do? The Covenant fleet's on their way. They just got to get to Halo. But they already got like the portal coming.
Yeah, they got to get to Halo and do a bunch of reunions and stuff like that. So they kind of got to wrap that up.
Do they got to land at Halo, or do they got to just see Halo?
They have to land on it, or not even land on it. Like jump to it. Like,
yes, yeah.
They have to do that at least.
Yeah,
they've been teasing it for so long. It's like if they.
I mean, the last episode's name
is Halo.
Yeah,
well, it could just be they see Halo and the episode ends.
Yeah, they could just do another freaking visual VR walkthrough of Halo again.
The first episode of a show is usually action heavy, so the first episode of season 3 could be the space battle before they crash land on Halo.
Yeah, could be another big space battle thing. Or like that, them running and stuff. It would be cool if they'd go they crash land and stuff. I think they are setting it up pretty well, where if they wanted to follow the game a little bit more closely, they possibly could.
Yeah.
And I think that would be kind of cool, if they went back to a little bit more of the story.
You know what?
They have enough seeds here where they could. It would definitely be a little bit different because obviously,
if they want to do like the full circle with Quan, they have to tease the flood at the end of this season, because otherwise the whole monster stuff doesn't make sense. You know what I mean? Like that has to be teased, and to tease the flood, you have to be on Halo. Like just from a storytelling perspective.
Yeah.
Or it could be the voice in her head is going to warn her about exactly what is on Halo.
Yeah.
But also late breaking news. If anyone really wants to get Lord of the Rings Gollum on PS4 or PS5, you can get it for $10 on Woot right now.
Physical?
Wow, that's a steal.
Yeah, so we had good news, bad news. Now we got good news again. You get the physical disc. PS4, PS5, Lord of the Rings Gollum. $5.
You know what?
Gosh,
Noob Saibot?
That gem of a game.
People are going to be...
I own it.
You reviewed it.
Code.
Yes.
People are gonna...
I was going to. No, John was going to review it. He never did, so I never did. I was going to.
People are going to get their hopes raised once again in Halo that they're going to be more game accurate, and they're going to get dashed so hard because they're not going to be more game accurate, because you're not going to be Chief only for 8 hours of a flipping season. It's going to be still Halsey focus. It's going to be still Miranda focus. It's going to be still Quan. It's still an ensemble TV show. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they'll still definitely have that, but they can. I think when they're on the ring, follow
like the beats.
Some of it. Yeah, the main.
Yeah.
Beats
It'll be a
and
very
stuff
different show than season 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Just by default.
Yes, 100%.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I don't want to keep you guys. It's been.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be the one where like everybody else knows this, and I'm the one like, hey, does anybody else know what Thermopylae is? Like, actually?
Oh, it was the battle.
That's the 300 thing.
Yeah, I was like, does everybody else just know this? And I'm like, hey, do you girls know
Thanks
what this
to
is?
Zack Snyder, we all do.
It was referenced in episode 5. That's why I know it, to be honest. Otherwise, that name would not have meant anything to me.
No, you would not have. You don't remember 300?
I was just like, is nobody going to bring it up? Or
no, sorry. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. That's the only reason I still remember it. And then I remember there's an episode coming up called Thermopylae. And I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. That being said, the fact the episode's called Thermopylae, implying, a small group of people holding off a large group of enemies, makes me think maybe we do see some like good action next week.
They have been using that theme a lot this season.
Next episode is going to be a battle.
Interesting.
Yeah, that would.
You think we see the space battle next episode?
I mean,
that'd be really hype. That'd be really cool.
Why name it that?
Yeah, Yeah, Amanda makes a good point.
I gotta watch
the
preview.
Are calling it Thermopylae, then you would think that it'd be more of a space battle.
I mean, they're not going to be like subversive. They're gonna. I mean, that's what it's called. That's what it is.
You think they actually land on Halo this season? But none of the marketing material showed them on Halo. Like none of it.
Well, I mean, that could be a big reveal. They could be actually doing good marketing and not spoiling stuff.
Huh. Damn. Okay, I could theorize this forever. I don't want to keep you guys forever. Overall, I'll quickly go to you guys each. Thoughts on your episode, thoughts on the season as it's moving. Nick, thoughts on the episode, man. How'd you feel?
Episode definitely 6, better than the last few.
Okay.
Yes, definitely better than the last few. I liked where it's going. Liked how they tied up a few things, or delivered rather on a lot of stuff. And Chief and Cortana part, probably my favorite.
Yeah, 100%. Jesse, thoughts on the episode overall?
I think it was the best one they have had with just the flow of it, the payoffs, the emotional beats, the triumphantness of it, and finally just having an approximation of our Cortana for the first time, really.
And Amanda, thoughts on the episode overall?
Yeah, I think it was probably my favorite one so far. I like it. I want to talk about the one part. This is really quick. That was really funny when McKee and Cortana were in the room with the map, and McKee's like, I feel it's there. And Cortana's like, are you kidding me?
yeah.
It's like billions of kilometers.
Like so offended. She's like,
that was good.
Cortana's like, oh my God.
Let
me get into the controls. Let me get into the comms.
Look, let's take a more rational approach. Maybe
that was so funny.
And yeah.
Anyway, I wanted to talk about that part. But yes, I love this. This was the episode that made me feel it. I felt it.
Yeah. Personally,
and for John, he was like, it's all right.
It's all right.
It's all right. It was okay, mate.
I liked it. Really liked it. I don't know if it's my favorite for the season, but overall, it really feels like the momentum has been kept up, and I'm really looking forward to the next episode. Speaking of, the format for the next podcast might be a little different. We'll be doing it through StreamYard. I will not be at my house. I'll be in Dallas in a hotel room. So
if I get bored enough, you can just send me the stuff and I'll host it.
It's really messy, man. I did not do a clean job of my OBS.
I mean, I can remake what's there in like half an hour.
That's true. I'll save it.
I have literally rebuilt the Xbox Era podcast 40 times. Like,
I was planning on changing
from being like 300 sources to being like a dozen. Now I've got it. I'm planning on
changing the background and some of how it looks for the last episode too, for the week after. But either way, I like the episode. I'm really looking forward to the next week. Thank you everyone for sticking with us. This is now the 5th week of that we've been doing this.
Aren't you two sticking around to do?
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't go anywhere yet.
Oh my God, I was about to switch over. Okay,
so Amanda and I are gonna go, but they're gonna stick around to talk Halo the game.
Yes, we are.
There's some news that came up, and since we didn't have haven't had a normal podcast for a few weeks now because of this and scheduling and stuff like that, We're just gonna talk a little bit about news. Not long, not a whole lot of news came out, but some juicy stuff has. So
Europe, it's a place. They finally learned it. I imagine moving all your shit over across seas. It's a lot of money, so I get why they haven't done a championship in Europe. But yeah,
Okay.
Thanks for having us.
Say goodbye to Jesse and Amanda for now, and we'll quickly cover some Halo news.
Bye.
Don't go anywhere if you care about that news. And see you guys. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Please excuse the older Spirit of Fire background, but we are now live with just us two. Audio should be okay.
If it's not, let us know.
No, I think we're good.
Someone in the comments mentioned if they want to see Nathan Fillion, and it's like, oh man, I would totally love for him to make an appearance and stuff, just some kind of cameo or something.
Straight up,
like that'd be cool.
See
him in the live action Spartan armor. Oh, that would be.
Ooh,
that'd be
so
awesome.
Sick. That'd be so sick.
Yeah. Or maybe not even Spartan armor. If he shows up as an ODST. I like that because that's when it was first introduced.
Even just his voice.
And then
even if he voices like an AI or something, man, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But okay.
I would love to see those.
We have a couple things we needed to talk about. The first thing was Rooster Teeth. Yeah.
Yes.
It shut down after 21 years.
21 years. Yep. I honestly, when I saw that news, I was not surprised.
Yeah.
Like as someone who grew up with them and everything, kind of once they sold themselves to full screen in like 2019.
Yeah.
To me, that was kind of their downfall. And then after that, they had a lot of missteps, a few allegations here and there. And
I remember the
things like that didn't help, but they kind of, the way that they were taking the company was a little bit too, political, in my opinion. And it just never felt the same. It felt like they're trying to make comedy PC almost or something. I don't know. It just felt too safe, and it just wasn't as fun. And I started watching more of the stuff. And I'm just like, so much of the stuff feels forced. I like and a lot of their practices that they were doing with the sponsorship, or not sponsorship, their first thing where you like pay for content and stuff. I read in the article that I think at their peak it was like 250,000 subscribers, and now it's down to like 60,000, and which is huge drop.
That's insane.
So like if you start seeing that much of a drop, you're obviously doing something wrong. It's like kind of go back to what got you up to that height, so I don't know. The more like with them firing like a bunch of some of the cast and everything, or not really firing, but like doing the let goes and stuff. And
I remember some of that.
I was just like, what are they? They were shooting themselves a lot in the foot, and that's why I was not surprised by this news. It's sad because I was really I don't know if they're doing another Red versus Blue season. Apparently, Bernie was supposed to come back for the final season, and it was supposed to kind of retcon. I don't know if that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Apparently it was going to hop back, I think, to one of the previous seasons where they kind of ended it, where they were like in a room and the door was about to like be burst open, and it was a bunch of them, the whole cast kind of there, and it kind of, the teaser kind of cut back to that season, and where Church was just like doing a bunch of calculations and stuff. Or Alpha or whatever, and running a bunch of simulations. And apparently the seasons afterwards were going to be simulations of like what would happen.
Okay. So
and that was kind of their way of like kind of retconning some stuff. And I was like, that's a good way to approach it. And so he was supposed to come back and write the final season. But I don't know if that got finished or not. I haven't heard anything about it. Hopefully they were able to finish it and they can release it. It'd be nice. But I guess if not, then
I mean, let's see. If the whole studio shut down, probably not. And I know they were working on a few other things too, right? Animated stuff.
So some of their properties, I think they're trying to sell off. So like Red versus Blue, Ruby, and Genlock, I believe they're trying to sell off, but it's like challenging because they're trying to find a buyer for those, and it's a bit hard. Their podcast network, I believe, is being picked up by someone else. So like I think they call it like the Roost or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah. I also like, because I think the article mentioned something too about their rebranding, and oh gosh, their rebranding horrible, horrible. Oh god, it would look like shit. And it was so bad that because when they did it, they announced it on April Fool's Day because that's their anniversary and stuff. And I was like, oh, this is the funny April Fool's. This thing, looks like garbage. Like, and but nope, it stayed. I was like, oh, okay.
That's rough. So I feel like I remember I watched a lot of Red versus Blue back in the day. I didn't keep up too much of Rooster Teeth. I did like a fair bit when I used to watch them. Obviously, I watched some Ruby a little bit here and there. These days, not as much, especially in the last few years. You know what I mean? You get busy, you do some other things. You're right. The news didn't come as too much of a surprise, especially with some of the allegations. It's rough, though. I
mean, I feel bad for all those people that had the jobs and stuff like that. But a lot of people too that were kind of the main cast moved on.
Yeah,
or like
exactly. I mean, it's been such a long time, right? It's been years, decades, really.
Yeah, and with because like I used to always watch gosh, was it the Let's Play stuff.
Yeah.
That's that after watching like Red vs. Blue and stuff, I'd always watch Red vs. Blue, Achievement Hunter, and then usually the Rooster Teeth podcast and a couple other things that they put out here and there. But then once Achievement Hunter kind of started falling apart after they kind of started butchering some of the cast stuff, it was just like it's not the
honestly
same.
Didn't remember, so I just kept
But yeah, end of an era, right? In a lot of ways. Red vs. Blue is still a ton of fun, especially the first 10 seasons, I'd say. I mean, definitely up until the end of Church story is phenomenal. So good.
Yeah.
Like hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
set the groundwork for it made machinima.
Yeah, like, it literally did. Like
yeah. So you don't see a lot of machinima nowadays. Some of it's starting to make a comeback. There is actually some good.
Yeah, I've actually been keeping up with some of it with Infinite.
Out there.
Yeah.
The Last Second Films is one of the, I believe Last Second Films is one of the people that have been making a pretty good machinima series. A little bit slow at making episodes because they do a shit ton of forging for the sets and everything. They do a great job. I've got to interview some of them before in the past, but I forget I can't for the life of me remember their the name of their series. But it's pretty good. I'm supposed to be a cameo or I'm supposed to have a part in it in like season 3, and they're still in season like partway through season 2 or something.
Okay.
So they're kind of going a little bit slow at it, and I don't even know if that's still promised anymore.
That'd be cool.
But
that'd be really
anyways, cool. But yeah, end of an era for sure.
Yeah, end of an era, man. Is what it is. We all get older. Time keeps moving on. People move on. You do things. New people show up. I mean, things are never really the same, anyways. Like even like say Bungie, it's not really the same Bungie. Nothing's really the same.
No, the Bungie that people know and love died after really after Halo 3 and Reach.
Yeah,
they like really died after Reach.
Yeah.
When they kind of sold themselves to PlayStation and stuff, that's when it was just like, oh, okay, well, they don't care about their Xbox community anymore. And I mean that was way back then. Now they're like, now it's a way different.
Way different. I mean, people move on. Game development. I mean, heck, probably a bunch of game developers we know aren't even game devs anymore, or not. We know that worked on these games. Probably moved to other parts of the industry or tech. Anyways, we can talk about this forever. Other Halo news. A new operation started, which called Cyber Showdown 3, which adds a few more. Friggin' hell, I forgot to change the thing behind this for a little bit, but whatever. Adds a few more, another 20 operation tier. It's okay. In terms of the content it has. That being said, it added more Husky Raid maps, which is always friggin' fun. Husky Raid is so much fun. I haven't played too many of these maps yet, just a couple of them. They feel closer, more close quarters. But in general,
I was gonna say, I was just like looking at the armors and stuff like that. Yeah. Actually look like some pretty cool armors.
They do. They look pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. Halo Infinite is in an interesting place right now, where it's still pretty fun. The netcode that they're working on hasn't gone completely wide yet, but I feel like it's not too far out from it. They're still calling the updates like not content updates per se, but they haven't like given them names yet either. Since they moved away from seasons. They did add a new arena map, which has like this kind of cool feature where it's like low gravity outside of like a certain area, which is fun. They're playing around with certain things, but it is clear more than ever that 343 has moved on to other things, bit by bit. And even HCS, which is going, well, I mean, I'll see how strong it's going next week when I go to Arlington to see their first major. And we technically got the dates for their major in London, which is pretty cool. But it is seeming like this might be the last year for Halo Infinite's HCS. 3 years, not bad. Not bad lifeline for a competitive Halo game. And again, that's more so speculation. We don't know for sure.
Yeah. Just watching some of the armor stuff again. These armors I think would combo pretty awesome with the Flood armors.
Yeah. Actually, yeah.
That'd be a pretty sick matchup.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. They definitely would.
With like all the weird skulls with the cybernetic like dystopian kind of look with the organic horror kind of look stuff. That'd be kind of gnarly.
Oh man. But other than that, I mean, the reason we haven't talked too much about Halo itself in recent days is because there hasn't been too much to talk about. Halo news-wise, I want to say has been relatively quiet.
Yeah.
We've had I was checking Waypoint.
Yeah, it's been pretty quiet news-wise, and like you said earlier, it's like some of our schedules and stuff too have been kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
Like I know for me, the next probably in April is going to be. I might be able to make it work in April, depending on when our episodes are. But the April's gonna be busy for me.
Yeah.
End of this month's gonna be a little bit busy. So we'll just have to see when. Luckily, us doing the Friday Spoilercast stuff is it might be for the next couple episodes. Maybe is how we'll do any kind of news that pops up.
Exactly. It's kept us going for a bit with you guys. Other than that, I mean, again, there hasn't really been too much. Unless I'm missing something.
I feel like there was
there's definitely been maybe a little more. I haven't been keeping too much track of it. Usually what I do is
yeah, I can't remember. I haven't really even been on Twitter too much to see like what's been
Twitter.
posted.
Halo Twitter has just been the show, both positive and negative, really. So that's not the best comparison for that. I guess Helldivers 2 came out, was really the the big thing. We did talk about it a little bit. And
that's true.
My takeaway is I 100% want Halo to branch out more. I want more studios to use the IP 100%, you know?
I want to ODST Helldivers. That's what I've been seeing a lot on Twitter.
Yeah.
Is like some mashups of that and stuff. It's like, yeah, that's perfect. You know, like that'd be something cool. You know, you drop in, you fight the you fight the Flood or you fight the Covenant and stuff. Like that'd be cool. I mean, maybe for the Flood it'd be a bit more difficult because in the canon and everything like that, the Flood was kind of contained. But well, I guess you can drop in on the Ark, and stuff, or the old Halo and stuff. That would be pretty cool. Because there were missions and stuff where the Covenant And I think Oni and stuff like that were dropping in people onto like the old the broken Halo and stuff like that. So they could make it work. They could do something like that. I mean, will they make a game like that? Probably not.
I mean,
I
343
doubt it.
wouldn't, but it's really up to Microsoft, I feel, to branch the IP out, give it to more people, and the Halo IP can be so much more. And honestly, the success of the show shows that, like, hey, people like sci-fi.
Sure.
They do, right? You know, the success of Helldivers shows that too. Like,
yeah, people want more stuff like that. And like with I mean, Halo Wars was a big success and stuff too. It's like people really enjoyed Halo Wars, and there's been a small but like very vocal community. Also, it looks like our screens went dark on the stream.
Flip. Oh, damn. Okay, we're doing back.
And so yeah, like there definitely is a market for them to like branch out for sure. I hope they do. I mean, well, I guess that goes back into the rumors with Spartan Affinity. You know, what is Spartan Affinity working?
Yeah, you're right. We don't flipping know.
Yeah,
so much.
there still hasn't been anything about
We've been talking about the Spartan Affinity game for what feels like 2-3 years, I think, man. Maybe more. Like, God, I'm so tired of talking about it.
Yeah, like, give us something.
God,
you know.
I'm getting old, guys. Like,
what if at the end of the Halo show, they like right after the show, they drop a trailer for the Spartan Affinity game? It won't happen, but that'd be cool.
All their sins forgiven, bro. All their sins forgiven. Man.
Yeah. So it'll be cool. Hopefully they do something.
Yeah. I don't know. Sorry, for lack of energy. It's been a long day. Fridays are long days for me.
Yeah, same for me too.
Yeah, goddamn. But yeah, I feel like if any big Halo news comes, we'll pop right on. If stuff like new Halo game is announced, or I'll keep an eye out for maybe hires or whatnot. I don't think we have anything big in that regard. Maybe they'll announce something next week at Arlington. I doubt it. They usually don't do too much stuff at these esports events.
Yeah. So they'll and I doubt there'll be any big announcements during the Halo show.
Yeah.
Like
no.
Stuff.
The only announcement you'll get is season 3, if anything.
Yeah. So if we do get any kind of announcements, it'll be after the show.
I mean, you have June coming up. I guess the next question is, do we see Halo at their summer showcase?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe.
I don't think we will.
Maybe.
Yeah. Once again, it kind of goes back if they're doing something with Spartan Affinity.
Exactly.
That's where they would put
Is it time? Is it time to show what the hell they're working on?
But if not, then we won't see anything.
Maybe the reason
they're kind of dipping, or I wouldn't say dipping. They're like going a little bit lower, or winding back some of the stuff, and I think, which means internally they're probably shifting around prototyping stuff for the next big the big push.
Maybe they're pulling back on Infinite for a bit because they're getting ready to release certain Affinities mode, and maybe that's going to bridge the gap between this and the next main Halo game. I mean, that'd be cool. That'd be okay with that.
Yeah. If you look at like from a dev perspective and stuff, they're obviously trying to do a lot more with we're seeing a lot more Forge content. That's kind of what was the thing to sustain it.
Yeah.
They're shifting more to that, as you see with the Husky raid maps and stuff like that. So I doubt we'll see any kind of big map releases really anytime soon. If there is one, it might be some stuff that they had hidden back or whatever, and they're polishing up. It could be stuff like that. But they're probably starting to have the resource and stuff they have at the studio still focus on making content for the next like big addition to Halo Infinite, whether that's campaign, whether it's a whole new mode, or whatever it is. But they probably have, obviously still a few designers and stuff working on, if they're not outsourced, on armors, and like coatings and stuff. And then, but when it comes, well, I think, I would say last week, but a while ago, we mentioned that they don't, they don't have any actual level designers anymore.
You're saying that.
From what I heard and from my sources and stuff, they're, don't have the level designers and for like multiplayer level designers.
Maybe they outsource the multiplayer entirely to Certain Affinity, and 353 is working.
Yeah, I mean, that could be something too if they need.
But in that case, why fire the entire campaign team? I mean, who knows?
Yeah. I mean, if they had to, my guess is when they let go of the campaign team, it was like they had to. They're probably told by Microsoft being like, "Hey, you guys got to cut some
exactly X amount of people or X percentage. Make your
so
decisions."
They probably looked at like, oh, okay, well, we're not doing anything with campaign for a long time. We can cut them. It'll suck, but we can cut them and then kind of push back.
I mean, like,
campaign
the multiplayer has been doing decent in the past couple years. You know, I mean, like, I don't think they've been burning money on it. It's not like the pace has been super fast. It's not like they've been, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. I
guess we'll see. Like I said, June will be the next time we.
Even if we don't see Halo in June, I feel like that alone will also be a little telling. You know?
Yeah. Like, if we don't see anything, then we know they're really working on dark. Stuff. There's nothing. If it's not a Certain Affinity thing, then it'll probably be nothing. I don't even think we'd see a little teaser trailer like we did for for Halo Infinite when it first was announced. I think
they're done with us, unless like they're confident that like it's coming soonish, like within 2 years. You know, I mean, heck, we haven't even seen a new Gears thing yet, so like that should be first, regardless.
Maybe, hopefully that's what dominates June. That'd be sweet.
It should. It really should. I mean, it's time, bro. It's time. It's been like 5 years. Like, come on, come on. But okay. Is there anything else we needed to cover, or are we good?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
Okay. All right. Thank you for those who remained watching. We'll be back again next Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. Pacific, and 12 a.m. UK time. See you guys then. Have a good night, guys.
See ya.